What's good, family? Welcome to another live episode of Good Dad, Bad Son, where we break down everything from headlines to heartache with our raw, unfiltered perspective so you can get uh, a full gamut of what we had to offer. You guys are in for a treat tonight. We got some dope stories. We got Hakeem Olajuwon being left out of the Houston celebration in the Final Four, or to go to the national championship. We got the daycare owner getting 45 years for a tragedy involving some children. Um, what else we got, BJ? We got
The seven
Mansa Musa movie coming out.
oh yeah, that's dope. The 17-year-old that was stabbed at the track meet
Yeah, I got mixed feelings about that one. It sounded like self-defense.
died in his twin brother's arms.
His brother should have talked some sense into him, but we'll get to it.
Terrence Howard saying that Diddy tried to sleep with him.
What took so long for that to come out, Terrence? You should have forever held your peace.
Yeah, Terrence Howard telling his truth. Kid Capri is taking legal action against the Martin Show for using his. I never realized that was Kid Capri in the beginning.
From the damn 1990s,
30 years.
bro. He must be on hard times.
He said he didn't like that Martin said something. Martin said it wasn't him. It's not Kid Capri. So Kid Capri took that offensive. Nah, Kid Capri stuff, he always gonna be booked.
Yeah, true
That,
that.
that nigga always and he on the radio.
So they being petty.
You ain't gonna say that. You ain't just gonna play me like that. Man. They should have broke him off anyway. You using that man.
True.
If he was white, he would have got that bread. Y'all would have
Up
never
front.
did that.
Up front.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just and some questions, and we're gonna do some reactions to some videos too.
All right. Good
got-
dad, bad son. We starting right now.
We gotta get our reaction game up.
We
man.
do. We're getting left in the sauce.
Man, Hakeem Olajuwon, man, left out of the Houston celebration, Final Four.
Disrespectful.
You think so?
He went to Houston for college, right? Mm-hmm. And he stayed in Houston his professional career.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, did he go to Houston for his college career?
Yeah, man. What was the Twin Towers? That was the first Twin Towers down there.
Dave Robinson,
No, it was it was an older cat. I want to say
Moses Malone.
You think so? No, he too old for them. It was like Ralph Sampson or some shit like that.
Oh no, I wouldn't know. So you say disrespectful?
I gotta see what was what. Was he the only one, or it was team only and coaches?
He was the only one standing on the side looking confused. He was the only one standing over there looking confused, man.
Well, with everybody having a podcast and a platform on social media, we're gonna find out in the next day or so.
They shouldn't have done Hakeem like that.
I'm telling you.
No way. Yeah, so we both agree on that. That was whack. I seen a picture. Let me see if I can pull it up.
If they win tonight, maybe they'll let them out there for the
Then the game tonight?
yeah, few minutes actually, 8:50 I believe. That kid from Florida, tough. You seen him yet? Walter Clayton.
What's
The light skin guard.
Oh
That boy
yeah.
tough,
I seen what you call it, Filet.
Okay,
Filet put him up.
he tough. Boy, fast, could handle, could shoot, could finish.
He could shoot his ass off, man. I seen him shooting fadeaway threes, boy.
Facts.
One thing about it, when you got the green light, you got the green light. Well, man, nigga don't. That green light, man, is something different.
And he can shoot the three, but I like he don't settle for it. He get to that bucket.
Yeah, he definitely was going to the rack. He mixed it up.
Yeah.
He mixed it up. I just sent you a picture. See if you can pull that picture up, man.
Okay.
Get
Oh,
some.
Kurt in the building.
Oh, Kurt is on time. Okay. Kurt is on time.
Yeah, I'm here.
Kurt is on time with his shirt on. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
It's a
I'm
good
hurting.
Monday. What's up, Kurt?
Shit, hurting a little bit.
Act like you see that chest request I sent you too last week. Still waiting.
It's a different app.
Chess.com, man. Download it.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy.
Oh, now you've been kind of busy. Okay, I bet. I'm gonna beat you 1,000 zip.
I'm getting ready to. I'm getting ready to pull the money off his job. I'm sending him to the trade school.
I'm gonna
So
beat you 1,000 to 0. What happened? What you said?
I said I'm getting ready to pull the money off his job that he's working because they fucking him around. You know.
Oh,
So I'm gonna send him to the trade school. He get a job as electrician, architecture design. You
for
know.
what? To do what?
He been there 2 years and he still make $1 over minimum wage. They gave him a 32-cent raise. Fuck that shit. We're not going to work my son like he no slave and then get rid
You
of
might as well
him.
be at McDonald's. At least you'll eat for free.
Right. You know.
Chick-fil-A or something. Um. So what trade? What trade he gonna get?
Well, he got to make his choice. You know, he's into that IT stuff. He like computers. You know,
That's gonna
real
be a
smart.
little. That's gonna be a little longer. Maybe he should go to like uh
Well, it's a 2 year course, and then
electric.
they
Even for the computers, 2 year course.
yeah, and then they place him after he get his degree after 2 years. He they place him on a job starting at least 60 grand,
Oh shit.
which is not bad
He's
for
supposed
him.
to do that 2 years ago.
I should have, but you know, I was in the process of leaving Atlanta, coming here, and you know, it's just been a lot going on.
Nah, you had a full load. You had a full load. That's for sure. I
You know,
got a
because it ain't nothing easy about uprooting and starting all over again.
I don't like moving here, city to city, or place, neighborhood to neighborhood. I don't like moving. Period.
I had to
That
move.
shit. You had to move 700 miles away.
Yeah, it was
That's
that.
something totally different. So, this right here, Kurt. Would you ever wear a tutu for your daughter's birthday party?
Nah, I could.
I think that's what it was too.
Yeah, it was her
Like daughter
birthday.
birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Would you, Will?
No, no, love her to death.
He happy too.
Right.
Love her to death, but I'm gonna have to come as I am.
I want to know who asked them to do it, the baby mama or the baby.
Probably the baby mother. It's always the baby mother.
If
Bro, I
baby
would have
mama,
canceled the whole damn party. I'm not even playing like that.
My baby mom's not even gonna ask me.
Facts.
right?
She not even gonna ask me. Yeah, she ain't even gonna ask me. She ain't even gonna want to see me in no damn tutu. Let alone she know I ain't with that shit. Any one of them.
Let me
Any
see
one,
what
not
they say
one
in
of
the
them gonna
comments.
ask me.
Man said this is out of pocket.
That's why we had to put the picture up, man. We had to put the picture up with it. Just talking about it don't do it enough justice. This is ridiculous.
It's
Like,
disrespectful.
come on.
I couldn't even role play in the privacy of my own bedroom with that shit on. You know, that others on
Kurt
me.
said he can't even role play like that.
You know how women be want a motherfucker to put their clothes on in the bedroom. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what happened. That's what happened to Dwayne Wade. He was role playing in his sister and his mother stuff.
And got stuck. Now he like it.
like
Man
when I
said take this shit down.
Man, you don't like that shit, man.
before they start thinking you advocating gayism.
What up, bro? Nah, they know better. We been on long enough. They know what side we on. I'll
You
take
know,
it
like
down.
back
I don't want to
in the
upset
day,
Yeah,
Van.
it's been up there long enough.
I don't want to upset
I
Van.
agree with you, Van. That been up there long enough.
look, back in the days, I was on the swim team, right? But they put me off because back in the days they used to wear them panties like them skin,
Panties?
tight. I used to wear the boxers, the long shorts. You can't wear that in the swim meet. If I can't wear these, I ain't wearing shit. I'm not about to be having my shit all tied up like that. No, you can't do that. I didn't even like boxing hardly because you gotta wear that stuff. That shit, I don't like all that. That's too
Hey,
feminine.
I wanted to bring up that United Healthcare murder again
Uh-huh.
because I want Nora to hurry up and pull up Because she said, for one, she said every murder is a heinous murder. And I disagree with that.
She don't.
Also, if you guys are okay with dude getting killed, like I ain't gonna say okay. Let me stop. Let me not say okay, but y'all basically saying it was justified because dude is responsible for a bunch of denials that led to a lot of people dying. Supposedly, I looked it up. I don't see where 100,000 people died from United Healthcare denied claims anywhere. You know what I mean? I see that all together with all the healthcare providers all together, 20 to 60,000 people die
But
from
I
claims.
think I think you have
You gotta let me
missed.
finish though, Kurt. Let me finish, and I'm gonna let you go. So my thing is, um, I forgot where I was at. If you're cool, if you guys are cool with, I don't want to say cool with, but like I said, if the murder of the CEO of the United Healthcare doesn't bother you that much because he was the CEO of the United Healthcare provider, then we got to start looking at everybody in the same position. Um, we gotta go to Kaiser, Blue Cross Blue Shield. We gotta look at all the CEOs then.
Shit, Medicaid.
Medicaid, Medicaid denies people.
Right and left.
What about Dr. Fauci that had all of y'all take them vaccines that you didn't need? What about Dr. Fauci? You know what I'm saying? So that's the rabbit hole I want to
So you saying some people was
go down.
now you said they not condoning the murder, but they don't really they see why he got murdered.
Yeah, like
But
they can understand it. They can
Well, that's
understand.
how.
They sympathize with the murderer.
Okay,
Man got a comment for you. So I
can I
don't think
speak?
anyone says he
BJ,
deserved it or was right. I think they're pointing out the hypocrisy of how punishment is administered.
right.
Nah, when we brought it up that last part, Dred was in the comments. Everybody was co-signing like, "Yo, free him." People were saying, "Free him." You know what I'm saying? People was. That's how we got on the whole George Floyd joint.
But
Van said you
no,
ain't gonna see the numbers because of
we got
HIPAA
on the
laws.
Joyce thing because I brought up, one murder is no more heinous than the next. And if you're going to push for the death penalty for this person committing the murder, regardless of who it is, then anybody the death penalty.
Your phone went out or something, Kurt. Put your phone on mute until you get it straight. Then
Uh-huh.
that's the same comment from me.
Oh,
No, this Van
From
said you're not
Van.
gonna see that because of the HIPAA laws unless they went to court. Maine said he
so
don't
I
think
don't.
anyone said he
So
deserved it.
that's all I
That's just the
was saying.
hypocrisy.
Regardless of whether he was a CEO or not, if somebody commit a murder, what I'm saying, a first degree murder, then if you're gonna push for the death penalty for one, push for anybody that commit a first degree murder. Don't say because they police officers they shouldn't be prosecuted or they not prosecuted because that's not equal under the law. That's all I'm saying.
Nora here.
Shit, half these niggas in St. Louis, they get committed for murder and they do 10, 15 years, they back on the street.
You must have heard us talking about
No
you, Nora.
backstage. Oh, okay.
I got a text from BJ that I was needed. How you doing?
What up, Noah?
I'm
Welcome,
They
good.
welcome.
try to misrepresent you, Noah. Don't let them do it.
What are you talking about now?
So I had came back to the United Healthcare thing because I'm like, yo, if we don't care, if we it basically seemed like Kurt is changing his tune. Now, Kurt, you really wasn't. I ain't gonna put it on you, but it was definitely Noah, Josh, Maine 50-50, Floyd, my man Floyd in the comments, and Dre.
Hmm.
That was talking about free him And because United Healthcare denied all these people claims that supposedly killed them later on and all that, it was sounding like he was justified. Matter of fact, let me ask you this, Noah. How much time would you give him, Luigi?
Life. He killed somebody.
Okay.
I just don't want him to die. I was saying that last time. I don't think we should make an example out of him and give the first white guy that gets the death penalty for, like, they've just never done this before for a crime like this. They shouldn't reserve the death penalty for people that kill specific people because
Life
there's
with
egregious
life with or without parole?
um I don't know, that's discretionary, honestly. Like,
Yes, it's up to your discretionary.
yeah, like
Your
if I
discretion.
like I don't know, like
If
these
you was
kinds
the
of things.
judge, would you be giving him life with parole or life without parole?
I would have to know more details about the case, but a lot of the times people just see a judge will just see potential in somebody to
You're
rehabilitate.
the judge, no?
I
What
haven't
would
seen him. Like, I need to see if I think this is somebody that's just going to be out there killing, or if I feel like this person is dedicated to rehabilitating themselves, that isn't just, a psychopath that's justifying it. Like, these are the contextual clues that make a judge say, I want to give this man another chance. I don't want him locked up for life. I don't know how to say it now. I don't know shit about him. I just know, like,
what about you, Will?
he killed
When
someone.
y'all say life, y'all mean he gonna die in prison or 25 years?
Life without parole is he's never getting out. Life when they put life, he is a possibility he could get out.
In 20 or
Life sentence
25?
25 years or whatever.
Okay.
He's eligible for parole after 25 years depending on the state.
No, I'm going no parole because I think he killed that man in cold blood. Whatever his reasons was, he crazy as a son of a bitch. So he need to go. He need to stay in jail because, like Norm said, he gonna get out and do it again. Somebody, it's gonna be a new CEO. He gonna go right back to jail.
What
I
about
would
you,
say
Kirk?
life. I say life without parole for 50. Give him 50. Let him sit there for 50 years. By the time he do get out, or if he do get out after 50, he be too old to be able to hold a pistol in somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? That's that's a more, I think, appropriate punishment. Let him sit there and think about let him live that hard lifestyle for 50 years.
That shit
Yeah.
expensive though. We gotta pay for that.
I'll
The
give him
death penalty is more expensive. The lethal
Yeah, they be
injection
on death row
costs
for
more
like
than like
ever.
10,000 for
eating steak
execution.
and shit. Eating steak and potatoes. I
But
give him life. Life. I'm gonna give him life without parole, man. Cause he was
I'm
too old. He was too old. You know.
Right from wrong.
Yeah, and there was no reason for that, man. These real life senseless killings need to be made examples of. This does need to be an example that's
why?
because then you got matter of fact, good question, though. Because now you have a guy. Let me look it up. That's why I wanted to bring this back up.
The
You copy.
Walgreen. He shot a Walgreen employee out in California,
Now
right?
you have a guy that's upset at big pharmacies that went to a California Walgreens and killed a Walgreens employee.
That's
Cold blood murder because he was upset at big pharmacies and stuff.
You think he was inspired by Luigi? Like, what do you think? So
Could be.
Copy.
It's a possibility because
it's not like he got away with it.
80% of America is saying that. That you know what I mean? They're champion, they're cheerleading this guy, Luigi. He has a fan base. He's bigger than Diddy.
That's because he's
They
hot.
said Diddy was
If he
jealous
wasn't
because he
good
was getting
looking,
more attention.
you don't think that's just because people find him good looking? That's not just because of his manifesto. If he was an ugly guy, they probably wouldn't be talking about him this much. He's getting like 20,000
You would
love.
have to ask the men that find him good looking. I don't know, but I
No,
don't.
I know the women that find him good looking. I know a lot of women that find him good looking. I know women that send him letters. Like,
They're idiots.
they think he's hot. Like,
Yeah,
sometimes it's
they're
not
they're
working
idiots
out.
though. They're idiots. They have a
They're not cheering on murder.
they
They're
have a mental
cheering on
illness. They have a mental illness
somebody's
also.
face.
Because this is when spirit comes involved. Okay, you could be beautiful, you could be he could be a handsome guy. He killed someone in cold blood that was minding their business, man. Perfect stranger, a law-abiding citizen. regardless to what they did as a profession. You know what I mean? It killed them. That I don't. For you to be sitting there writing them letters, something wrong with you. Yeah, something wrong with you. You lost sense of reality. For real, for real. They need to get evaluated.
We talked about that on another show. Remember the lady just died? Her husband choked her during a conjugal visit. He was already in jail for multiple
Double
murders.
homicide.
Yeah.
Locked up for double homicide. Tell the next woman that say she's interested in all that. Tell her to marry him. New York has conjugal visits. Tell her to marry him. Go have a baby with him or something.
Face to face with a killer.
Yeah, go up there and give him some conjugal visits and stuff. But
They got that whole.
it's a known. This is known throughout America's history that it be copycats. You see one do something and it's champion that we live in a
All
sick
right, but
world.
let's start killing school shooters. That's what I was saying last time. I feel like
I didn't
the fact that school shooters are living are never getting the death penalty, even though they kill like 10, 15 kids. Like,
I agree with you. I agree with you on that,
crimes
no.
I believe should be made examples out of that are never made examples out of. Everybody mostly just gets life, except if it's like usually people on death row are substantially minorities. The crimes are never that crazy. Like there's people that just.
I agree with you on the school shooters. I'm with that. I'll sign a petition for that.
And I'm just generally in favor of parole. Like if we're gonna say that prison is supposed to be rehabilitating anybody, why not give somebody a second chance after 40
Well,
years?
prison doesn't rehabilitate no one.
But I think we should go back to that like philosophy of criminal justice, because now that we're just doing deterrence and that's the only thing that matters to us, prison becomes a hellhole. Nobody actually invests in the conditions of inmates in prison, and then it just.
Nah. Prison is supposed to be what it's meant for. Prison.
It's not like that in other countries. It's one of the
America's prison should be. They should take a book out of Venezuela's page.
No, they should take a book out of countries in Europe's page.
Wow, what Europe do?
There's some prison systems that actually do rehabilitate. Not every prison system is like America's notorious for being.
Yeah, but America don't need that. America, we have two.
Why not? You know how much money you spend on just keeping people in jail that could be productive members of society if you actually. There's people that end up from starting with one crime, end up with 7 crimes, and spend their whole life in jail just because of the conditions in jail. Like, you don't think society would benefit generally if these people are rehabilitated and reintroduced into society rather than locked away and treated like shit for the rest of their lives while they commit more and more crimes inside jails?
We have too much crime, too many people to even start that. We gotta help the people that's free.
A huge problem.
We gotta help the people that's not committing crimes first. Let's concentrate on helping the people that's not committing crimes do better in life, and then maybe we could come to certain inmates. Drug dealers, some shit like that. Non-violent inmates, not motherfuckers that's outside that decide to wake up today and kill the CEO of a man, or not the motherfucker that decide to kill another person because of the neighborhood they rep, or the block they rep, or the color they rep. Not them. No, they need to sit. And we've been doing this long enough, so it's not gonna. It is what it is now. We already made our bed. So as far as America goes. That's what we got to do.
Okay, let's reference
the system we made.
Let's reference another crime that's similar. Okay, remember when they had that Black Lives Movement or whatever it was, and the one white guy went across state lines with that long gun and killed some people, and they acquitted him. They found him not. He talking about he was guarding somebody's.
He was guarding his father's business.
No, it wasn't. He went across state lines and he was guarding somebody's business that didn't even belong to him. He wasn't even from that state.
The 17-year-old, I know who you're talking about. The 18-year-old, I remember that. What's your point?
His name Whitehouse, but they didn't give him not one day, and he killed innocent people.
They wasn't innocent. They was attacking him.
They was not attacking him.
Yeah, they was
just protesting, bro. Come on, man.
They chased him down, Kurt. I watched the video. They chased him down. The nigga he shot hit him with the skateboard. What are you talking about? He ran away. Hold on. He ran away, tripped, and fell. He was on his back. They chased him. The reason why they got shot and killed is because they were standing on top of him.
No, they got shot. They chased him because he shot somebody.
No. He shot the person that got
Somebody,
killed. Let me look it up.
look that case up, please. No, it wasn't like that, BJ. He ended up going to that state where he didn't even belong with a gun, meaning he had intent on using it. Why would you take a gun from Georgia to Tennessee to participate
Because
in
you're
something?
able to. Because you're able to, Kurt. You're able to. You're just like you're able to take a gun from state to state that allows you. You're able to. Now,
But
when from the video I saw, he fell and them people was chasing him or whatever, and that's that. Let's just look it up.
because he had a long gun and he was shooting at people, talking about they was trying to tear up the man, tear up
He had an AR-15.
You
yeah,
chasing somebody that's shooting. He already let off shots and they start chasing him.
yeah. They were trying to get the gun from him.
Yeah, okay.
Shit.
You know how some people will play hero in cases like that, but they was just having a protest, and he not only that, he was from a whole nother state. That protest had nothing to do with him. So him taking a gun across state lines to participate or to get involved in something that didn't have nothing to do with him. He wasn't trying to participate in the protest. He was, he put himself in that position so that he could say, I killed somebody, to stand up for whatever white privilege that they was talking about. But they was just having a protest. But
Yeah, no,
because
don't. We're not gonna say they was just having protests. They was burning buildings. They was tearing the country up. Okay, there's a difference between having a protest and tearing the country up. They was tearing the country up. They was destroying a lot of businesses. That's what people do. That's what they do. You know what I mean? Just because black people don't do it, hey, we don't do it. But the black people in Ohio did it. But them white people of Wisconsin and Illinois and all that, they joined together, and he wasn't the only one out there armed and protecting businesses. If they went out there to kill those people that was protesting or shoot those people that was protesting, it would have been a slew of people dead. A slew of them dead. Because they had assault rifles.
okay, remember how you said that, what somebody else can do, you don't give a damn what they do.
You said what?
That doesn't give him a right to go across state lines to somebody else's state and say, I'm protecting. They didn't ask him to come over there to protect that. He just did that on his own. And
Okay,
because
whether he did it on his own or not, right? I'm not saying what
so
gives him the right, any of
why would you
that.
take
We can't talk at the same time,
okay,
y'all. We
but
can't talk at the same time.
let me finish my point. Why would
I
you
thought you was
take
finished. Go ahead, my bad.
why would you take a AR-15, which is a military style weapon, to a protest of unarmed citizens if you didn't have intent on using them?
You finished?
Because see, if it had been the same thing, let's just change it over. If a whole bunch of black people came to the Capitol when the insurrectionists came to destroy them people's land, they would have charged black people with murder. You can't say that we got laws, but only we have to abide by the law. The law is unequal in that sense.
Wow.
They let that boy walk. He murdered somebody.
Okay. It
Always
self-defense.
say they always use that same term. I felt threatened. They did it with Trayvon Martin. I felt threatened when it came to a black man that's not complying with what it is.
Well, what are you mad at with this case? With this case, you're mad at what?
The fact that they're not prosecuting murders all the same. If you murder somebody heinously, then it should be.
Everything not gonna be the same, Kurt. Come on, bro. Like, why are we having this conversation, man?
Why?
O.J.
Why?
Simpson got off with killing them people, man. Everybody know he did that shit, man. He got off. If you got some money, you'll get off. If you got a good enough defense, you'll get off, bro. Like, come on. He had a defense. Whether or not you like the outcome or not, he used it. He had a defense strategy. He had good lawyers. He had people that he had a GoFundMe. His people funding him. You know what I'm saying? They rallied around him. Guess what? He didn't kill nobody black. Why you so mad?
I about to say, man said he was an
He
anti-protester.
didn't kill nobody black.
And that's his right. That's white on
That's
white
his right.
crime and not my business.
That's his right. He didn't kill nobody black. Why you so mad? So
I ain't talking about, whether we talking about what's right or wrong. Why is it that we are prosecuted
which part is wrong, Kurt? Which part is wrong?
that he murdered somebody just like the CEO?
You murdered somebody, Kurt. You murdered 2 people.
And guess what? I got double life and had to spend 13 years fighting.
You all right, well, you didn't have the support he had. But you ain't got the death penalty, you ain't get the death penalty, and you ain't got a life. You free. You've been free a long time.
I got back according to law. I got mine overturned in the Missouri Supreme Court.
Okay, and from your verbiage, you shouldn't have got it overturned. You should still be in there because what you did was wrong.
No, what I did was protected myself. But
and that's what he did. And that's what he did. Everybody got the right to protect themselves. I don't care whether you find it right or wrong. He should never went over there. He went over there to protect them businesses with the other armed militia that they had out there protecting their businesses.
I don't know where you get your news coverage from, but them people didn't ask him to come over there to protect their business.
No matter if they asked him or not. I didn't even say that. I'm just saying he came over there I just read it. It said he said he wanted to protect the businesses. So he joined other armed people that was protecting businesses out there. When you see the video, you see him running. I remember watching the video. You see the video of him running. He falls. He turns around. Them people is over him, about to hit him with some shit, the skateboard or something. He shot him. That's what he was supposed to do. Because guess what? In the same scenario, that's what I'm going to do.
Trust me, if you carry a gun across state motherfucking lines, they're going to lock your ass up.
No, they not. No, they not, man. See, that's that fear mongering that Democrats do. That
don't talk about
do. No, they not. No, they not, bro. You could carry a pistol from state to state. It's perfectly legal. Yes, you can. That's why he didn't get charged.
Only one that are allowed to say
with the gun.
Why you always say that's the Democrats talking about fear mongering? It's the Republicans talking about the fear mongering. Oh, the Mexicans is taking over our country, the immigrants, when this country is made up of mostly immigrants.
Yeah, I don't care. Ain't no fear mongering with that. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. I just said it's too many of them over here illegally and getting benefits. If they wasn't getting the benefits that they was getting, I wouldn't care about them being over here. Like I never cared about illegal immigrants being over here. Never.
Who did
I would hire them. But when you give them food stamps, free health care and money, debit cards and free housing and shit, then that becomes a problem. Yes.
You gave Donald Trump the whole presidency. And his wife is an immigrant.
Bro,
I forgot. Freedom is something that you pay for. Freedom is something that you can pay for. Like he's trying to charge people $5 million to come over and then they'll be free until he say otherwise. That's not how it goes.
I can't, hey, you have the right to think the way you think and feel the way you feel. You know what I mean? I can't take that from you. But his wife is legal. Bro, y'all say I keep cutting y'all off, but y'all be cutting me off. I'ma wait till you done. I just waited for you to be finished. Go ahead.
How you wait and you talking now?
Y'all keep his wife. You start on one topic, then you go somewhere else.
Talking about illegal immigrants. We talk about immigrants. Period. Who determines who's legal and who's not? Donald Trump. That's supposed to be left up to the courts and the process that they got in place as it stands under the law. But don't create a fear mongering and then say it's the Democrats that be fear mongering when that's everything that the Republicans have based this last presidency upon is fear. They're going to take over our country like it ain't our country too.
I never heard nobody say that.
What?
Yeah,
They saying that
I never heard them say it.
he using the law out of the spirit, a law that was passed back in the 1700s. Oh, we at war with them. We ain't at war with no Mexicans. I'm not.
It's called strategy, Kurt. It's called
Okay.
strategy, and it's called being intelligent, and it's called being a leader, and it's called
No,
doing it's called doing what you
pissing
hold
on
on,
your
Kurt. You
leg
keep
and
cutting
saying
me
it's
off,
raining.
Kurt. You keep cutting me off. You keep
It's
cutting me
called
off.
it's called pissing on your leg and saying it's raining. It's the same thing as the Democrats do. We call it lying.
All right, you done, bro? Because I don't want to start and then you cut me off, and I gotta rethink about what I'm saying, man. You keep cutting me off.
I don't know why you're thinking like that. No way, BJ. For real, for real.
It's called being a leader. It's called being intelligent, bro. Like, come on, you keep talking about this and that and fear mongering and all that. No, he just used the law. It's not fear mongering when you use the law. The law is there. The law is there to be used. That's what you do. You use the law. You crying about this man getting acquitted of all charges, so he got acquitted of all charges. It's not against the crime. You so far gone. You talking about if you cross state line with a gun, your
You
ass gonna
talking
go to
about
jail. No, you not. You could
so you
carry
don't
you could
go.
carry a gun in about 40 something states in America. You should know the law. As much time as you done in jail, you should know the law by now.
Okay, we talking about murder. Do you think so? You it's like you are minimizing the people that boy killed, as though it's less important than the CEO dude.
I didn't even bring the CEO. See now you see what this is what you do.
That's the whole point that I
It's
was making,
so
BJ.
elementary.
That's the whole point
It's
that
so
you never got.
elementary.
I said, let's use another reference, and I used that as a reference. Them kids, them people that he shot, they were murdered too. You know what I'm saying? But under their law, he was acquitted. But Louisiana should get Louisiana, whoever should get the death penalty. See,
Will, turn my mic up, please.
one murder is no less important than the next.
I don't know. I don't know. It's weird to me for someone who committed 2 murders to be crying and complaining about somebody else that committed a murder is weird to me. It's weird, and you're not spending the rest of your life in jail. That's weird to me. You shouldn't even have a say so in this.
BJ,
You should understand that he's been acquitted. He actually was being attacked, and you
BJ.
killed 2 white men in the 70s.
BJ,
You should be thanking God.
BJ. I killed a man, 2 men that put a pistol to my head and clicked it 3 times.
You killed them. It don't matter.
And that under the law is called self-defense, but it didn't apply to black people in
Yeah,
70.
for you, it's self-defense, but for not for him.
What? For him to put a gun to my head and click it?
I'm not talking about him. For the kid you said traveled and just beat the murder, not just beat, but beat those murder charges. He was acquitted on self-defense. It's on video. That's why he was acquitted for self-defense.
BJ, you double talking yourself, and I'm gonna tell you why. You saying this about me that me being convicted of a murder and this and that and the third, and I'm so against somebody that committed murder.
Everybody heard what I said. Go ahead. What's your point?
But you're the same one that says people that sell drugs should be put to death.
So
When you've done that.
So.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's the same thing you saying I'm doing.
No, it's not, Kurt. You're not even making sense. You're not making sense. If I'm selling drugs and they pass a law that says drug dealers get the death penalty, and I continue to keep selling drugs, that's on me. What are you talking about? That's on me. Period.
Well, it's the same thing with murder. If you go across state lines with the intent to kill a motherfucker, that's murder. If you pull a trigger on somebody that's unarmed, I think that's a heinous murder.
You're coming up with the narrative. He didn't go across state lines with the intent to kill someone. If that's the case, he would have crossed state line and started shooting people. When people have an intent to kill someone, when school shooters go to a school with the intent to shoot someone, that's what they do. They don't run away and then fall and then turn around and shoot someone. They go there and shoot people.
He ran away because them people were trying to get that gun away from him because
they shouldn't have been trying. That's not their job. They should have called the police if they was that scared. That wasn't their job.
And it's not his job.
And that's why. Hey, as a citizen, you have the right to protect businesses, whether it's yours or someone else, or if it's just something you want to do. You have that right.
That's your opinion. That's not law.
How could it be just my opinion when he's free?
It be you.
Makes sense.
If somebody is at your house trying to hurt you, and I came from St. Louis and killed them, they gonna give me a murder.
No, they not, because you're Georgia is we got to look up. It's about 40 states that what they call that, Will, that you could take your friendly states, I guess, or whatever. Mm-hmm. You could take your legal pistol in other states. Know the law, Kurt. Know what you're talking about before you talk about it. Know the law.
Boy was 17. There's no law in this country should have been giving him no motherfucking military weapon.
Okay. We talking about murder.
We
talking about murder. I'm not talking about the gun.
Okay.
Murder.
But that's the weapon that he took over there.
It don't matter. I got to teach you the law, I see. It don't matter. The gun don't matter. You could go to jail for the gun, or you could beat the gun also. The murder charges is what's important. The murder charges, not the gun. The gun don't matter.
I wish somebody would research that case, because he was not asked to come to that. Which put him.
You don't have to be asked to come anywhere. You don't have to be asked to come anywhere.
Okay, then you can go there and be peaceful. Them guys that he murdered didn't have guns, so they didn't potentially put him at a threat. They put him at a threat.
It don't matter. You don't have to have a gun. You don't have to. Once again, you need to know the law. When you purchase a firearm, when you go to gun self-defense classes, it's a lot of things that play roles. If someone is bigger than you in weight and stature, and you have a gun and they don't have a gun, you have the right to shoot them. That's self-defense. I saw a case where the old white man fell in the parking lot and shot the homeboy in the chest, and he died in front of his son at the store over a handicap spot. He didn't have no gun. That old man walked. I also seen the black dude out here in Georgia, in Waffle House. White boy was about to jump him. One of them punched him in his face. He killed that white boy right in Waffle House, right here in Georgia. They didn't even put him in handcuffs because they looked at the video. He never even got put in handcuffs.
Do you understand what justice means?
He beat that. Know the law. That's what's wrong with black people. Black people don't know the law. So all you start doing is talking about, if he was black, or if it was me. Nah, bro. Nah. I go to law library. Every time I went to jail, I went to law library. Every time I went.
What does justice mean to you?
Man, I don't give a fuck about justice. None of that means nothing to me. If I can find a loophole, it's about finding a loophole, Kurt. I don't care about justice, any word semantics you're trying to come up with. It's about whatever your case is and finding a way out of it. Every time I caught a case, I was in law library finding loopholes. It's always loopholes. That's what it's about.
So if Luigi find a loophole, then how can it be wrong?
We're not talking about wrong and right. We're talking about charges, murder charges, etc. If he finds a loophole, hey, good job. Good job to his defense attorney, his defense team. Great job. Just like O.J. Simpson, just like Johnny Cochran and them. Always found the loophole. Snoop Dogg, Tupac. Tupac shot 2 off-duty officers in their ass because they was messing with somebody he didn't know. He shot both of them in the ass. They was off-duty police officers, 2 white men. Somebody he didn't know. Just like that white boy came over here and decided to protect businesses with people he didn't know. Tupac decided to protect this other black man he didn't know. minding his business, coming out of a hotel room, about to go do his thing with a bunch of people. He decided to intervene and shoot them 2 officers in their ass and walked. Come on, man.
The man just said the 2 young boys killed the bus driver. They walking.
They walked. Forgot about that, man.
It's a lot of
They
people
walked.
that walk.
Guess what?
But
Guess what, Kurt? The bus driver ain't had no gun.
it's a bunch of people that walk in cases. But we talking about heinous crimes, and that's what I thought we was talking about. You know, one murder of somebody's
The death
son.
penalty. The death penalty coming up in the case is because how heinous the case is. That's it.
And extenuating circumstances.
That wasn't self-defense. That was him stalking someone and shooting him in the back of the head.
Extenuating circumstances is that he went and got a gun, and based off of his warped idea, he killed that man. That's what's going to cause him. See, the difference between a first-degree murder and, say, a second-degree murder, a first-degree murder is a premeditation. You think about it, you go get a weapon, and you commit the crime. You know what I'm saying? That's called premeditation. That's where they try to get you under the death penalty. And that's how they're going to get Lucy. Because he thought about it.
All right. So look, to even coming with this 17-year-old that stabbed the kid at the track meet in the heart. Did you hear about that case?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, so what you think about that? Is that self-defense or is that a heinous act?
I don't know the extent to what the case was. When they asked him to get up out of the seat, were they threatening? I don't know what that situation was. I haven't read up on it.
No, you know about that one?
What was it again? What did you say?
The 17-year-old that stabbed the other kid at the track meet.
No, what state was that in?
I forgot what state. Hold on. I forgot what state it was.
Well, he stabbed a star football player, but they locked him up for murder.
Frisco, California.
No, I never heard about it. Okay.
What up, Cal?
Will, play that video right quick.
The one you sent me?
No, I'm sending it now.
Okay.
It's 3 minutes.
You said it was out in California, though?
Frisco. Yeah, that's California, right?
San Francisco?
Mm-hmm. I didn't know they really just be abbreviating it like that, Frisco.
I don't think so. It might be a different.
That's something different, right? Because the news even put Frisco.
Yeah. I thought it was Texas myself, but I ain't.
It is Texas.
Okay.
It is. Let me see. Frisco. I think it is Texas. Yeah, it is Texas. That's why I was like, Frisco. I ain't know that's some shit we do.
Right.
But yeah, so okay. Well, we'll pull up the video. So from what I gathered is they're at a track meet, and I guess it might have, I don't know, but the kid was under the tent of the opposing team. One of the dudes come to the boy and tell him, get up, move. And he basically say, ain't no telling what was said. But the kid tells the boy, if you touch me, you're going to see what, and put his hand in his book bag. And he said, if you touch me, you're going to see what I'm going to do. Something like that. And the kid grabbed him to move him, which you could tell the white boys, the twins, they was they stocky. They got some size to them.
Teenager accused of stabbing them.
There you go. He grabbed him and tried to move him forcefully and got stabbed.
So you saying is he should get off because of self-defense?
Yeah, I think it's self-defense. I want to see what Noah and what y'all think. Noah.
Yeah, I'm reading about it to try to see exactly. I feel like it depends on like the sequence of events and exactly like or some idea of what was said. Like I don't really understand the whole altercation.
Right, and actually those kids was known for being bullies too, from what some people are saying.
The teenager accused of stabbing another student athlete at a track meet told officers as he was being taken into custody that he did it in self-defense.
Austin Metcalf was killed this week at that Frisco track meet. New documents detail what happened before and after 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony allegedly pulled a knife from his backpack and stabbed him. Fox 4's Alex Boyer joining us now live with the latest. Alex.
Hey guys, and in that 7-page arrest warrant affidavit, several witnesses, including Metcalf's twin brother, describe how that deadly encounter went down. The suspect then reportedly admitted to a Frisco police officer who detained him that he had stabbed Metcalf.
My son is gone, and I don't really have words. I've tried to figure out what I was going to say, but he's just going to be so missed.
The pain is still raw for the Metcalf family after 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was killed on Wednesday morning at a UIL District 11-5A track meet in Frisco.
I think he was extremely smart, always in the box. He just came to him real easy and just him playing with football as well just made him just a great person overall.
Here's what happened according to witnesses and the police report. Metcalf got into an argument with the suspect, 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, over a seating dispute in the bleachers. Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move from under the team's tent.
He always was one to step up and be the person that would do the right thing. And he was doing the right thing by saying to this gentleman that you're not supposed to be in this tent. This is because they have personal items there.
Anthony opened his bag and reached inside and said to Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." Metcalf reportedly grabbed Anthony and told him to move.
He knew he wasn't supposed to be there. He was just a tragedy.
Shouldn't have touched him.
That's when Anthony pulled out a black knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest once before running away. When Anthony was taken into custody by a Frisco police officer, Anthony reportedly confessed to the crime, saying, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to," adding that, "I was protecting myself," and then asked the police officer, "Is he going to be okay?" Metcalf died in his brother's arms.
I'm not at that point to forgive and forget, but eventually I will. But I pray for his family. I pray that they understand what we're going through as well.
This whole community has really wrapped their arms around us. And if I could say anything to the nation, I would say to make sure that you just hug your babies tight, because you don't know when the last time you get to do it.
And in a statement released by the Metcalf family this afternoon, they say their focus is now on laying Austin to rest. Meanwhile, I can tell you that Anthony remains in the Collin County Jail with a $1 million.
What you think, Noah?
I think this is definitely the best state for this to happen for the guy that's claiming self-defense, because Texas has the best laws. I think Texas still has stand your ground laws.
Of course.
Yeah, even outside the house, right?
That's where that shit was invented.
Not just
at.
the homeowners.
Wild Wild West.
I don't. Yeah, I think in New York he would have been probably fucked. Even in Texas, he'd still have to prove that he reasonably believed he was in.
Well, that's why he's locked up.
Or robbery.
Yeah, that's
why
he's locked up.
I don't see why he could prove that he reasonably believed a felony was about to happen.
Yeah, that's why he's locked up. So
he's felonies that count.
He's definitely gonna have to he's gonna have to fight it.
I just see how he could convince.
I'm gonna be watching this because I gotta see how it unfolds, man. Because and thank God that he's not some thug. You know what I mean? He's a 4.0 kid, also. You know what I mean? So that's gonna play a role. And also, I would be looking at the fact that he asked the police officer, "Is he gonna be okay?"
Yeah.
So now he's not intentionally. He didn't intentionally try to kill him.
Right.
He would have never asked that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we got to see the body size. How much bigger is the other kid? The white boys look bigger than him.
There's two of them.
And it's two of them. You know what I'm saying? Really more than two of them, because the whole team was over there. That's why I want to know where his team was at. Right. Why was he over there? Was it raining or something? Like what's going on?
Yeah. And if he can establish a history of violence or bullying, it would probably help prove that he has a reasonable belief.
I don't know where I heard it at, but I did hear that they were known for bullying, being bullies, to be bullies, the two twins. But they saying he was known to stand up and do the right thing. That wasn't his place. That
Right.
wasn't his.
Go get the coach, a coach,
Get the
assistant
yeah,
coach.
let the coach and them do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let the coach, whoever. I don't give a damn who's sitting over here.
Right. Grab my phone.
I got
I'm good,
how much stuff you got? A bag? Come on,
Yeah.
it's a track meet.
Grab your bag. And
Yeah.
get home.
How did they say he killed them? He had a gun?
Who?
How he killed them?
He stabbed him.
Oh, he stabbed them.
Yeah, he stabbed him. He
Where
stabbed him
did
and
he
ran
stab
off.
him? Did it say?
I think once.
Once
I
in the
think once
chest.
in the chest.
In his chest?
Yeah, I think once is right through the heart. So I'm gonna say that he ends up getting
20.
self-defense.
20.
I don't know. I don't think so. Chest stab is hard to defend too. Like Texas has softened in the way they apply
Chest stab.
ground laws. Like they're not as strict about it in non-homeowner contexts. They
Chest stab is because the kid grabbed him. So of course he gonna poke him. He grabbed him. He don't have no right to touch him.
Facts.
If I'm the lawyer, I'm worried. That's when he has no right to put his
Whole thing
hands
could have
on
been
him.
avoided. He'd have kept his hands to
He
himself.
didn't have to touch him. He gave him a warning.
Please don't touch me.
Touch me.
See what happened.
He gave him a warning. If someone puts their hand in a bag and tell me to touch them and see, you know what I mean, what I do or will see what happened, I'm not gonna touch
How
them.
did they say he touched him? They said he held him.
He grabbed him. He grabbed him to move him. That's how he got stabbed. The kid didn't chase him and stab him. He came to grab him to move him, and he stabbed him.
Yeah.
Which I think in the comments.
Unfortunate. Too bad he died.
Yeah, that's messed up. That's messed up. But that's the way of the universe. It's plenty of situations we could have been in where we would have been dead if we didn't make the quick decision, the right decision. You know what I'm saying? It's just a split decision of decision making.
Help us out in the chat.
All the time.
Justified or not.
All the time. It's always a split. That's what I try to tell Eli. No, it's always you have to be smart. It's not about being tough. It's about being smart. It's about being smart all the time. You got to see it.
Somebody say, don't touch me or see what happened. They got their hand in the bag. You got to be ready for that.
Come on.
Kyle say it's not justified. So you don't think it was self-defense, Kyle?
What?
What's not justified though? What you mean?
The killing.
He's not supposed to be touching him. He's not supposed to move him. Who the fuck is he to move him? Nah.
But I don't know. Like I feel like men should have other ways to like respond
Explain it,
to
Cal.
behavior other than stabbing somebody in the chest. Like he was that much bigger than him. They couldn't just push him or punch him.
It could have been that. It could have been that. But Noah also is twins. It's two of them. It's multiple of them because it's a whole team.
The whole team, right.
And the sad part is the mentality that even though he's a 4.0 kid, he probably live in the hood. He probably live in the hood. So he probably keep a knife. That knife probably ain't for them. It probably wasn't even for them.
Right.
You're going to keep a knife on you. The world is dangerous. I don't know if y'all see what's going on outside. It's dangerous outside. You liable to get killed anywhere. Walmart, road rage, anywhere. In any predicament. These kids, they have it rough, man. These kids, we had it rough too, but I think it's worse with them. I think it's worse now than it was when you know what I mean?
agree.
I think it was worse.
More access to
Yeah, more access. Them niggas got switches and all the gang banging and everybody tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't. Where is his team and his coach? That's what I want to hear. Who I want to hear from. Where was they at?
Right.
But I think he gets self-defense. I think he gets it.
You don't think that that may have been a racially motivated thing?
Or they drop it. Maybe they drop it to
manslaughter.
I don't even want manslaughter because you still doing 10 years.
15, yeah. Jazz said it's unfortunate that the boy died, but you are not security. Keep your hands to
Yeah,
yourself.
you're not security, bro. You're not none of that. You're not gonna grab me and physically move me. Kurt, I was thinking that also, Kurt. I was thinking that also. Because when she said they had personal belongings there, I said, oh, they see the black boy there. He look like he gonna steal
something.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at either rate, they could have put him in the mindset that he was in danger. You know what I'm saying? These big old white boys trying to.
That's what makes it self-defense.
That's what makes it self-defense.
And that's gonna play a part. How much bigger than him are they to him?
But because of that one factor, that racial thing, they may find a way to convict that black boy.
He's gonna
Nah,
stay in jail.
I don't jump to that.
I think
it's
it's
racism, of course. It's racism everywhere, but I don't even jump to that, bro, because there's too many cases where niggas done got off, man.
But what I'm saying, as you said,
Charleston White and them killed the white man. Charleston White killed the white man and did 7 years, man.
Charleston White didn't have money. You just said this boy might be from the hood. They don't have access to good legal representation.
I don't know. I didn't say none of that. I say he could be. I don't know. He's at a
what I'm
track meet,
saying.
Frisco. It don't look like, it's possible. He could be from the hood, but he could have a well-to-do, hard-working parent also, like I did.
But
I would have went to prison. You know
but
what I mean?
maybe access to, expensive lawyers that could really find loopholes like a Johnny Carson. They only got limited funds. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have legal good legal representation, normally you get a public defender who works for the state along with the prosecutor. And they try to, we work out a deal, we'll get a conviction, and we'll satisfy the public eye because this white boy got killed. So it's still an injustice. Because I think, in that situation, first of all, they put their hands on him first. He got every right to defend life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness in this country under the Constitution.
You can't move somebody. Ain't that kidnapping? I don't care if he was just. Isn't that what? No. Would that have been kidnapping if he would have moved him out from out that tent? That's kidnapping, Calvin.
No,
That's what he's talking about.
Forcible
because
touching
he didn't restrain him. Like, you have to put him somewhere and keep him there.
And keep him, and restrain him, yeah.
Cal said, even though it's 50-50 sometimes, I feel if you can remove yourself from the situation, that's the first option.
Exactly, and I feel like this thing, like
we talking about kids though, bro. We don't even get that until we
17.
old.
Right.
We don't even get that until we are old with
Some
children.
of us still ain't got it.
Still ain't got it. Niggas argue and be ready to fight and kill on the basketball court in their 40s. A nigga just shot somebody at LA Fitness. Mm-hmm. So we talking about 17-year-olds, bro. Come on now.
But it's like, this is the type of case that really needs a good lawyer that can build a narrative that a jury can believe. Like, they just have to, and that's why it's so susceptible to bias and the racial bias that Kurt was talking about, because it's the type of case where, based on who the judge is, me as a female, I don't know what type of force or threat from another man would make me reasonably believe that somebody's about to kill me or hurt me or assault me or whatever, because I don't know what it's like to be a 17-year-old boy. Like, we see boys fight a lot more than, it's like hard to empathize with that. So if you get the black man versus the white woman,
that makes you a victim.
Judgment might be completely different because it's a very
that makes you a victim. When you saying that you will be a victim,
I'm just saying it's up in the air. It really depends on who the person is. I'm not saying that.
No, for sure. But any person these are the people that become victims. Any person that's somewhere and a stranger can come and grab you and move you somewhere and nothing happens, that you become.
I'm sitting there minding my own business.
That's who becomes a victim. Those are the people who get drugged into a car, pushed in front of a car, raped. Those are the victims. You know what I mean? That just yelled. You know what I mean?
They're outside, public event. He's on nobody's property. Nobody owns the bleachers they was on. He probably was under the tent because it was hot.
And all them people, he's the only one that took it upon himself to move him.
Right.
Huh?
His mother almost fucked up talking about he always in somebody's fucking business. That's what it sounds like. How he always do the right thing.
I definitely want to know how big these kids were for him to be that bold. After y'all forgetting that part. After he told him with his hand in his bag, fuck a knife, I'm thinking gun.
Automatically.
I'm thinking gun. After he told him, touch me and find out. Mm-hmm. Whatever he said. And touch me, you gonna see.
And you went and touched
And he still grabbed him. Mm-hmm. The more I think about it, man, I'm leaning more 70-30, man. Like he got what he deserved. For real. For real. For real.
Cause he could have de-escalated it by saying, "Shit, he got something in that motherfucking bag. I'm getting ready."
That's when you walk away. All right, man. Whatever, man. Listen,
Let me
man.
go
This
find
sounds.
the coach.
First of all,
man. He not bothering you.
he not bothering you, bro. Bro, where
Right.
your team at? What you doing over here? Why you? Who are you? It's
And
you just.
it's very it was a lot of them. It's very rare a white boy gonna walk up to a young black male. So that's like BJ said. Where was homeboy team at? Because they would have never been like that. Had it been two or three of them, they would have mind their fucking business. They would never even said nothing to him.
He was very
He was
comfortable.
by himself. Yeah.
He was very comfortable.
Because he didn't have no intent of no confrontation. He just sat where he wanted to sit. And he got every right to sit wherever he wanted to sit.
Well, we gonna keep we gonna keep watching this, man. Watching this case. That's crazy. Um, I don't think no, you was here when we was talking about the man who shot the Walgreens employee, talking about he hate big pharmacies.
Yeah, that's when I just got in.
Okay.
Yeah, you
We
summoned
was
her.
talking about Luigi, and yeah.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Copy-
So that's the snowball effect. That's the domino effect now.
The privilege.
Yeah. That's the domino effect.
It's the copycat.
Yeah.
You know, they always got copycat killers
Always.
when
That's why I was just telling all. It's American history that it'd be copycats, man.
Yep. And America has the greatest amount of copycat school shooters as any country in the world.
I believe it. I definitely would go for that. Would you guys listen? This come from Josh. Would you guys listen to someone who's illiterate? Josh, that's something from Josh, man. Josh said, I ain't listening to no nigga that's illiterate. Would you guys listen to or follow someone that's illiterate?
Yeah.
He still got experience.
Yeah, no.
And something.
Well, you say yeah. What you think, Kurt?
Follow is a bit much, but I'll definitely listen.
I don't necessarily think I would follow him. I mean, he do have a voice or she or
Or
whoever it is.
listen to, or I guess listen to. He said listen to. I'm not listening to no nigga that's illiterate.
He said, "What are you gonna tell me I haven't already read?"
Right.
I'd listen to somebody that's illiterate. My ex's father was illiterate, and he owned the largest
intelligent.
he owned the largest piece of consecutive land in Jordan. He had like over 20,000 acres of farms in Jordan, and built it from the ground up over like 60 years, and made his entire family rich. He didn't read a word of Arabic, and didn't speak English either. All he spoke was Arabic, and he was one of the smartest people I ever met. He was like, he's such a good businessman. And like his whole family is set for at least 5. There's literally not any other family that owns half as much land as they do. So he's like set for like 5 generations.
That be them college degree niggas, man. Josh a college degree nigga. Because
Where Josh at? Is he on here tonight?
I ain't speak to him today. No, I spoke to him earlier. He might be, I don't know. Maybe caught up.
There's more education, Josh, than just a formal education.
Because
For years, we couldn't even get into college.
People listen to audiobooks. He was always listening to audiobooks.
to who?
To audiobooks. He would have my ex-boyfriend, his son, he would have him record books for him, and he would send them to him. And he used to find some online too. It's a lot of ways to
No,
learn.
that's my shit. When I first started driving, audio books was my shit.
Bro, I damn near got a master's degree
Yeah.
off.
And then
It took me 45
podcast.
minutes to get to work.
Yeah, audio books was my shit. Then it was podcast.
A lot of people that's reading and not getting anything they're reading. Like sometimes people comprehend things better.
For real. Right. For real. Also, Harriet Tubman was illiterate. You know what I mean? Malcolm X was illiterate.
Was he?
Nat Turner was illiterate. Malcolm X couldn't read until he went to prison. Then he became, Malcolm X. But they were illiterate. Nat Turner was illiterate. Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman are leaders that were illiterate. People followed them.
Also, the clip of that dude that you put on, he said he couldn't read all right.
That's where it comes from.
That's where he got it from, yeah.
Yeah, you and Josh said y'all wasn't listening to that nigga because he couldn't read. You know what I mean?
Josh said he ain't going. He don't care what dude talking about.
Yeah. Play that video I sent you. Well, the first one.
Okay.
That be them college degree niggas. So what y'all feel about Dr. Fauci then? Because the CEO dude, y'all say he caused a bunch of deaths by denying claims or whatever. And Dr. Fauci is the cause of all these people taking these vaccines that killed a bunch of people and messed a bunch of people up. If somebody shot him in the back of his head, how would y'all feel?
The vaccine didn't kill nobody.
All right, that's a whole nother subject, man.
And I still wouldn't want him to be made an
They
example.
definitely confirmed the vaccine killing a lot of people.
Watch what people do, not what they say. Donald Trump is not a racist.
One thing my grandma told me, and your grandma probably told you this too, and you're going to remember this when I say this. They say you hear what people say, but you watch what they do.
Yeah.
All right? We've been hearing what the Democrats say for so long, and it sound good and it feel good. But we watching what they do, and they ain't doing shit. We hear what Trump say. It sound crazy. But when I watch what Trump do, and I go back and I look at real facts about how this man went to court every single day with Michael Jackson, how him and Don King was super, super cool, how this man was on the Wu-Tang Clan album, how when Jennifer Hudson's family was murdered, he put them up in Trump Tower for 6 months, protected them, didn't charge him a dime, how he sent his private jet to go get Nelson Mandela out of prison, how he gave Rainbow Push and Jesse Jackson $1 million to get started, to get activated in the black community, how he gave me and Kwame Kilpatrick pardons to restart. Like when I hear what people say and I watch what they do. I hear people saying they mad about Trump about the Central Park 5, and I get that. But then I know Trump passed the First Step Act, which done freed close to 20,000 people to this day, including Big Meech getting out on some of that sentencing reduction. That ain't got nothing to do with Kamala though. That's Trump in the First Step Act.
That part. Other told us the same thing. Watch what
What's your
people
thoughts on
do.
that?
Not what they say. Donald Trump is not a racist.
What's your thoughts on that, Noah?
I'm researching the validity of some of the facts that I haven't heard
Fact check.
before.
You fact check it.
Yeah.
What you think, Kurt?
Okay. I understand her point of view, and you give a person their point of view,
Okay.
whether right or wrong, whether I agree with it or not. I don't quite agree with it because he said one thing and people are losing their whole life savings. The whole stock market is crashed. How is that helping, or how is that reducing inflation? That's taken away from people that don't got it.
Kurt. We acting about this video. I don't know where you going. You talking about inflation and the
We
stock
talking
market.
about the context of the statement that she made.
What statement?
Where she say, look at what people say, and look at hear what they say and look at what they do. You know what I'm saying? So both sides of the fence, Republicans and Democrats, use propaganda to get whatever it is for people to believe what it is they're doing. That's just a fact. Both parties lie their ass off. They say one thing, they do another.
No, everything he said he was gonna do, he's doing, Kurt. I ain't gonna let you go there. Everything he said he was gonna do, he's
He
doing.
said from day one he was going to reduce inflation.
Okay, give it time. You gotta common sense. You gotta use your brain.
He said that
inflation is not gonna happen in 2-3 months, Kurt.
he said
You gotta let stuff happen. But what he said he was gonna do is what he's doing. He didn't lie about anything. And gas is down. If you're not paying attention, gas is down right now.
And so is my 401k.
That don't got nothing to do with inflation.
You want all three of them?
What?
Yeah, one at a time.
Mess of anything here.
Yeah, your 401k ain't got none of your Social Security. You kept saying he cutting your Social Security. He taking your Social Security away. They took it away yet?
They got rid of the people in the Social Security office.
Did they take away your Social Security check yet? Is the question.
I'm saying they took
Because that's what
$300.
you were saying. What you were saying, all
They
since he came in, is we
took,
gonna lose our Social
like you
Security.
said, it doesn't happen overnight. Gradually, they are.
Okay, so that's a no. That's a no?
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
yes.
that's a no. All right.
That's a yes.
He took your Social Security?
I'm short $300 every month.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here, Kurt. Yo, I don't know, Kurt. Listen, I don't know why you short $300, man, but it ain't because of Trump.
Then who's it because of? Why is it short then?
I don't know. I don't know. You better call the people down at the office and see why it's short 300.
You only call people down at the office because he got rid of all them people that answers the phone.
No, no, they answering the phone now. Trust me.
Right.
They
No,
answering the
they
phone
didn't.
now.
They got seen.
Yes, they are. Then them people back. They back at work. They not home no more. They back in the office. Yeah, trust me. I know my people
only-
able to get through to people now and
The
get some
only
shit
people
done.
that's in the
And the lady
office
said
is
that. The lady told Bree that. Oh, we back in the office now. We ain't at home no more. We back in the office.
It's those people.
Man said it's Medicare premium that's taking your 300. Trump ain't got nothing to do with that.
Then why my Medicaid premium jump up to $300?
We gotta blame somebody, huh?
Gotta blame somebody.
What fact you looking up, Noah?
Yeah,
She into it, ain't she?
I was
She
about to
building
tell
a
you
whole
about
case.
the fact that I found.
Which one you looking up, man?
So she mentioned the First Step Act, and she
Yeah.
said that Trump supported it and that it led to Big Meech getting out of jail or whatever. And
She
that
said
it,
he used some of the Meech was able to benefit from some of that First Step Act.
yeah, so they made it easier for people to enter halfway houses and do like more
Hold on, I
risky.
can't even hear.
Hold on, y'all. My
Hold
fault.
on, Noah.
No problem.
Go ahead, Noah. What you were saying?
Yeah, so it made it easier for people to get into halfway houses, and like they would have the judge do like risk assessment to integrate people into society faster. But the thing is that when this bill was pushed by Democrats and Republicans, and it was the first criminal justice bill in like more than a decade where that Republicans didn't stop. They've always been saying that Democrats are too lenient on crime. They've always been against decriminalizing marijuana, and there's been 3 bills that didn't pass the Senate because Republicans opposed it. And Trump initially opposed both of them. Trump initially even opposed this one, and then Jared Kushner urged him to approve of it because he said it was a good legacy move. So in the broader context of this being the most mild bill that would improve criminal justice, every other bill included at least decriminalizing marijuana and reducing the mandatory minimum for nonviolent drug offenses. But yeah, that was the only one that he didn't push it. He didn't start it. It was approved. It passed by like a very huge majority from both houses, well, the House and the Senate. So I don't think it's something that's the difference between when I say the Central Park Five, which is an ad that he personally ran and took money out of his pocket to call for the murder of 15-year-old boys accused of rape to make an example out of them. That's clearly reflecting his personal attitudes and beliefs, whereas the other one just reflects a politician doing a political move on the advice of a political aide in a context. Opposed such bills.
The reason why she brought it up is because y'all like to use Central Park 5 and make it seem like he hate black people, and the narrative is Donald Trump hate black people. He's such this racist, this, that, and the third. But you know, that case in particular, and I'm not making no excuses for him, whatever, however he felt. If they was white and that lady was black, I would have been saying the same thing, myself. But them boys confessed to that shit. Y'all keep missing that point.
So
them
now
boys,
we murdering 15-year-olds?
No, I'll let you talk, man. Them boys confessed to that shit. They parents made them confess to it. The detectives did the bullshit that they did. Donald Trump wasn't in the office in these rooms with these people. He's looking from the outside in. These some monstrous boys. He didn't take this shit out on black people. This is for that case right there. These specific people that he felt like did it. He took an ad out in the paper, and that's that. But it's a long list of people that should be on the front line of not liking black people or hating black people or whatever y'all want to say that's attached to this case way before Donald Trump. And then for y'all to say he's a white supremacist and he hate black people, whatever, white people that don't like black people, white people that's racist, they're not gonna go to court with you. They're not gonna sit in no courtroom with you. We went to court every day with Michael Jackson. They're not gonna send a private jet to go get some African nigga to bring him to America. Sent this private jet to go get Nelson Mandela.
Been in jail for over 20-something years.
They're not gonna do that.
Right.
They're not gonna play them games. Them white boys that's really what y'all trying to make him out to be are not gonna play these games at all. They don't. They'll tell you to your face. And those are the ones I like.
You know where you stand with them?
Those are the ones I like, man.
Yeah.
Me and them gotta have a conversation all day, every day, man. Straight up. He's not gonna put Jennifer Hudson up in his hotel for 6 months. Free of charge. Go ahead.
You ready for that first one?
Yeah. Whichever one you pick is cool. Yeah, we gotta differentiate these people, man.
Permanent structure. Do you think it's crazy that, you look at Trump, right? Like him, love him, hate him, whatever. The fact that he gets in office and he actually shows the power that we thought other presidents should have had, especially Democrats. Like, the first day he gets on stage, he gets a pen and he's signing executive orders left and right. His guys that has 20 years and just in prison, 10 years in prison, pardons them immediately. And then you look at some of our Democratic presidents and you be like, man, they could have helped so many people for good and just never did, just was cowardly and didn't. So how does that give the people confidence?
It doesn't. And that's why guys like me that would come to the Democrats and ask them to pardon people and didn't can be disappointed and say, I went to Biden and asked for certain pardons that we couldn't get.
He pardoned his son?
But I couldn't get him to pardon Jesse Jackson's son.
Oh.
And who should have been pardoned. And others, we went there.
So how does that make you feel? As much as
you feel like I'm not getting everything I want, but I'm certainly not going to go on the other side. So we need to then put the right kind of leadership there. You don't.
So do y'all agree with this? If this the part I don't rock with. I don't.
Cal said it's all hearsay.
Which part? Which part, Calvin?
Talk to us, Cal.
No, Kurt. Do y'all agree with this? So he's asking. He's a 70, 80-year-old Democrat, right? Mm-hmm. So you go to your boss man or your team captain or whatever, and you ask for these pardons for this Jesse Jackson son that deserves a pardon, and you're not doing it. No, whatever happening, it ain't happening, right? But then you go and pardon your crackhead son and your whole family and Dr. Fauci and all these other people. That's a slap in the face. And then this same man, right, Al Sharpton, y'all leader, is gonna sit here and say, yeah, but you're not supposed to go. You still not supposed to go to the other team, to the other side. No, yes, the fuck you is.
I'm telling you,
you're supposed to sit down with somebody on any side that's gonna benefit you and yours. You supposed to sit down and go talk to somebody. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with this nigga? That's the gang banging shit. That's the shit I'm talking about with the Muslims and the Christians. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Politics, religion. That's what I be talking about. You so caught up in your side, and your side is right, and your side is what matters, that you're not even open-minded no more. And then you become limited. So now he's limited. Now he's stuck looking stupid, doing all these boycotts with Costco's and all this, and talking about, yeah, we tried to get Jesse Jackson's son pardoned, another stone cold Democrat forever. And all these guys is Trump is the devil, Trump is this, Trump is that. And Biden don't fuck with y'all at all. At all. What y'all think about that?
BJ, what I think about that is, why are we talking about somebody that wasn't even the last contender to be, like, he was the last president. He's never going to be president again. The fact that he pardoned this is not okay. I don't agree with that. It's not
No, hold on, no. That's
you
before he
acting like
left the office.
you're acting like us.
That's
Like
before
people
he left
complaining
office.
right now about a current incumbent president.
Biden was
Won't be
still in
the same
office, no.
as Trump mentioning Biden's name like 180 times. I don't care about what was happening then. I'm telling you today, Trump has mentioned the name of Biden 160 like 3 times since. I know that because like it was the name, a headline, like some journal headline, some article headline today, and it was like he mentioned it 163 times, and they listed every single speech where he mentioned Biden. Why, like, since when is this how you run a country? Like, just compare every action to the last president, everything that's wrong, blame it on the old president. Like, why are we talking about him so much? Let's talk about Trump, because he's the one that's supposed to be doing positive shit, right? We can't just be comparing him to all the bullshit before. Like, whatever, yeah, it's not right. I don't give a fuck who he pardoned. It's over. He's not president again. He's like literally 90.
Kurt, what you think? Because I asked Noah, and she said, let's talk about Trump. Like they all do. That's what they all do. Fuck this. Let's talk about Trump.
Why
is Trump saying Biden name 163 times? The same reason why Kamala lost. Because every time they asked Kamala a question, she brought Trump name up. The same reason why. So now that he just clowning, Noah. He having fun with it. That's what niggas do.
But they were competing to become president.
Now we just having fun with them niggas. Yeah, he was at the golf cart and hit the golf ball. It was a good hit, and they said something. That was a great hit. He said, "Yeah, Biden would never be. The Biden could never do that." He just clowning now, no. That's what you do when you won.
All right,
at the top. That's just what you do.
The stock market isn't at its lowest point.
We just clowning. We don't care about the stock market.
We
don't care about the stock market.
Everybody cares about the stock market.
We don't care about that shit.
It's the one thing that's gonna affect every single voter for Trump. Every single class is gonna be fucked up by it.
I guarantee you it won't. You reading headlines. Them headlines don't matter.
No, I checked the apps and I'm literally a corporate lawyer. I have like 30 companies every day emailing me, how will this affect it? I'm an international corporate lawyer.
Tell them get out the stock market or tell them leave America.
Importing things into America. And now they're imposing the same tariffs.
It got to get made. Oh well. We looking for the future, baby. We bringing production and manufacturing back to America. That's what he focused on. That's all we care about. Any American that cares about America don't care about no stock market. Fuck the stock market right now. We trying to bring back China is kicking our ass, bro. Will, I've been looking at videos and I Show Speed. I've been following that young nigga. I Show Speed. He over there in China. Man, China is beautiful, bro. These niggas got cars that drive through the river. They got drones dropping you can order KFC and a drone and bring your meal in 2 minutes. China got everything, man. And everything is made in China and Taiwan. Now we got to bring that shit back. Rolls Royce is on the way back. Europe, they starting to fall in place now. They starting to make deals. China's the only one playing hardball, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. America's not gonna be the doormat no more. We used to be a world power, economic power. We used to be an economic world power, and I'm with him on that. And we need to go back to and that's gonna bring the economy back to America, not the stock market. Because everybody can't invest in the stock market. Everybody can get a job though. So we need the jobs to come back to America. We need to bring them back from China, Mexico, Canada, India, Taiwan, Vietnam. Yeah, and that's what he's doing. I don't care about no stock market. But Kurt, I was talking about your man Al Sharpton right here. So if you ask, you've been, you stone cold Democrat or whatever, you ask for your partner who's a stomp down Democrat, Jesse Jackson, for his son to be pardoned. You go to Biden, who's president at the time, and ask for plead your case to be pardoned or whatever. He doesn't do it, but pardons his crackhead son and everybody else. His family, the rest of his family.
People who ain't even commit a crime yet.
Come on, man. That's not even in any office, any political position, and Dr. Fauci. Come on, bro. You still gonna pledge your allegiance to this party? You're not even gonna go and sit and have a conversation with, you know who did it? Eric Adams. And he ain't going to jail.
Okay, you asked me a question, but you still haven't let that big old black microphone go.
Go ahead. I'm getting all mine out. Now I'm letting you talk because y'all be cutting me off. So
Well,
I got all mine out.
cut
Now
off.
you see how I stopped? I stopped. Now it's your turn to talk. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I don't agree with Al Sharpton because that sounds like he's flip-flopping, but he's not flip-flopping. He's still saying what I think he was saying. He was still sticking with the Democratic Party because it stands for the principles that he stands for. I do believe this one thing. This partisan politics is what have each and every one of us at each other's throat. It's called partisan politics. You know, back in the days, there used to be bipartisan politics. You know, where, yeah, I don't agree with some of your views, but let's work together so that your people get some, my people get some, and it's for all of us. It's called a united state, not a us state, not a Republican state. You know, that's where we have went wrong. You know, we argue with each other over policies that they should institute, and they should sit down with each other instead of saying, "Oh, we gonna win and they gotta lose. It gotta be a win or lose." No, it don't have to be a win or lose. It could be a win-win. When Clinton was in office, it was a win-win. That was the last time that this country has been in a surplus as opposed to a deficit. But that's because it was bipartisan politics. We got to quit thinking in terms of us versus them, because it's supposed to be us versus the world, not us versus them. We fighting against each other. There had always been a policy to divide and conquer. If you keep up arguing with each other, then they can do what they want. Whoever started. Why come we can't come to some kind of agreement? Okay, you get a little something. I may not agree with it, but then I get a little something that you may not agree with. That's called bipartisan. That's called diplomacy. Politics have gotten clean away from that. I can name a whole bunch of good presidents. They did some good stuff and they did some bad stuff. Every one of them since George Washington and before, there's some good and bad in all of them. It's just how politics is now. It's purely partisan. We want all of the Supreme Courts to be right-wing fundamentalists, or we want all of the Supreme. Why? The courts have always been a balance of power. They had 5 and 4 either way. Because when you have an equality like that, then the 4 can maybe convince that 5th judge to rule in another context of the Constitution or in regards to law. But when you start getting it's my way and your way is wrong, and then I'm feeling the same way, you ain't never gonna get nothing done. It ain't gonna be nothing done for. It ain't gonna be nothing good for the whole country. It's not about us or me or you. It's about all of us. All of us should be able to get a piece of it. I don't see what's so wrong with that.
Kurt, could you answer the question?
What? Do I agree with him? I did answer the question.
Can you answer the question, bro?
You just don't listen. I said I don't agree with it, and I said that was my first statement.
You don't agree. You don't agree with Sharpton saying what? You don't. Which part you don't agree with?
I don't agree with him saying that he ain't gonna go to the other side, because going to the other side only means you being bipartisan. If you couldn't get it from Biden, go to the next president to step up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But will I turn against the whole framework of the Democrats and call them the enemy? And I'm gonna go to the other side because they didn't give me some of what I wanted? No, I wouldn't do that.
Nobody asking you to do that.
I'm saying, but that's what he's saying. That's what he said. I'm not going to go to the other side. It's just like this. If me and you out here hustling and you do something I don't like, and you've done that a few times, like that don't mean I'm gonna go fuck with the other guy. You know what I'm saying? It's being bipartisan, man. You told me at the very beginning, ain't no wrong or right answer. But now it's all of a sudden we wrong because I feel like being homosexual is a choice and it has nothing to do with me. I don't give a fuck.
I didn't say you was wrong. I never said you was wrong. I said homosexuality is wrong.
Hey, and I say it's a choice.
I never said you was wrong. Yeah, that's fine. I never said you was wrong though. I just
And
wanted.
just like abortion, it's not a right or wrong in it. It's a choice. And if it
I just
is
wanted to make that
wrong,
clear. I never said you was wrong.
you say abortion is wrong. I say it's a choice.
Yeah, and a choice got to be right or wrong. It's a wrong choice. It could be a choice all day. You either
It's a
gonna make a
wrong
right choice or a wrong choice. It's a wrong
wrong
choice.
choice for you. It may not be a wrong choice for that woman. How you gonna tell her what her choice is? And you
Forget
never
me or
seen
that
it?
woman, man. It's a wrong choice in life, man. In the universe, for the universe, it's wrong.
But how can you make that choice and you a man? You've
Easily
never
because
done
it was a right choice. It was a right choice for that boy to kill that other boy, or that boy that you said was wrong for coming across state and killing those two people. It was a right choice for him. That don't make it right.
right.
It's that simple. It could be a right choice for her. I made a lot of right choices for me that was wrong. What are you talking about? You know how many right choices I done made? That was fucking wrong. All the way up for the past 20 years. Nigga been wrong making right choices.
Right.
What? Man, come on, man.
Try to make
Yeah.
the right choice in
Dream, not a
this
choice.
situation.
Nigga been wrong for 25 years straight, making right choices. Come on, man.
Somebody help me out in the chat. What's going on with the national championship game? Who up? Houston or Florida?
My phone dying.
What sport is that?
That's big there. Cause I didn't think Houston was gonna be there.
Houston tough, man.
So
Yeah,
that's
they
who got
tough.
that. That's who got that boy you was telling me about.
No, Florida.
Oh, Florida guy. Yeah, he nice.
He tough. Yeah, he fast.
He nice.
Could
Oh, I
shoot.
had something else for Noah too. Yeah, he
And
nice.
he finished with both hands. There's people in the pros can't do that.
You talking about that light skinned dude?
Yeah,
They
Clayton
start
Jr.
they might try to deport him, take away his citizenship.
Oh, he not American?
No, that's the African boy.
Yeah, you talking about the guy from Duke.
You talking about
The light skinned brother. He a light skinned brother, but he got a scholarship, and they talking about trying to use that policy from the 1700s. It should have been taken off the book years ago, hundreds of years ago, to use it as a means to deport him. And then he can't go pro. He can only play in the international league over in other countries.
Oh yeah, play this one, Will.
Okay.
This one's for Noah. Hold on.
Fuck. Calvin in the chat said Trump don't care about America. He cares about groups in America.
My phone died. What groups, Calvin? What
Group
groups?
of rich.
What groups, Calvin? You play the next video, Will. I sent you 3 of them.
Yeah.
You play the next one. No, I gotta charge my phone up because Charlie Kirk, man, had me realize something about Gaza.
Who? Charlie Kirk? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I hate him.
I know you hate him. Get my charger right.
I don't think you should be realizing anything from him.
I don't carry that kind of genetics with me. I don't hate nobody.
No,
I don't.
hate this man. He like just frustrates me. Like he's an annoying political commentator whose personality is almost trying to be hateable. Like he's just it's like
He trying to be like Putin.
Yeah, like it's just some of these commentators piss me off, like a Ben Shapiro type person that's just designed to piss people off. Like I don't hate him personally. I don't know what he is. I just hate everything that comes out of his mouth.
All right, hold up, y'all.
It just seemed like they say, don't believe your lying eye. You know,
Been there for our youth
That's
day
right.
and all that. He's done that.
How did you when ASAP Rocky was going through all of the stuff that he was going through in court, and you tweeted out about the black jurors, that the lack thereof? How do you decide when things like that come across your desk what you put your name on?
Well, the first law I use is that I don't ever get involved in something unless somebody involved asks me. When he was in jail, his mother came to me. And that's why I stood up for him. Then Trump helped get him back. I give Trump credit for that.
Oh, when he was over in
First time
Sweden,
When he was
first time.
over there. So I knew him. So when he's on trial this time, and somebody in his legal team called me and said that, you know, there's an all-white pool that they're choosing from. I said, that's wrong. He said, would you come out here? I said, I don't have to come out. I can tweet. And I tweeted. I wouldn't have done that without the legal team because I wouldn't have known what their legal strategy was.
Right.
Anytime you see me out there, it's because some of the family members of the legal team have called us. I don't chase ambulance. People, people say, oh, they ambulance chasers. No, we ain't ambulance chasers. We responded to
Yeah.
all the ambulance chasers.
my
No,
bad.
we ain't ambulance chasers. We
Nah, you can stop
responded.
that. Yeah. See, I don't understand how you see this man is helping you, but you still be like, yo, Biden didn't do this, and I couldn't get this done, but I still won't go to the other side. I won't sit down and talk with him and da da da. But you just, Trump had to. I got to give him that credit. Trump helped us get him back over here. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
well, the thing is, like I said, has Trump done some things that's right? Yeah, he has. Especially when he was a Democrat. He did a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he also has pushed the narrative of divisiveness, which keeps us bickering back and forth. It's always about, you know, some type of, I don't like the way they did this. And Biden didn't do nothing. Biden passed the infrastructure bill. He tried to pass the law to forgive all those students of those loans, but the Republicans killed it in Congress. You know what I'm saying? And then they say, well, he didn't do nothing. But a president for real is a rubber stamp. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could sign executive orders. The next president can overturn all those executive orders. But when you go through Congress, you have to get a bipartisan something passed in order to push your agenda. If you got a split Congress and a split House, you ain't never gonna get nothing done because at this point in the political field, it's too much partisan politics.
I hear you. What you think,
I
man?
thought with the United States, that means all of us. That don't just mean a portion of us. That don't mean just the ones that's getting money. All of us. If some people ain't fortunate, you know,
What you say?
it's a lot of people out here that are not as fortunate, even as you or me, that got an opportunity and seen the opportunity to come out of the ghetto. They just stuck in it. They stuck in that mentality of being poor and have to struggle. See, the struggle is real. I've been through the struggle. I know you've been through the struggle. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people. If you go into most of these inner cities, it's a lot of lost hope too. They've been poisoned by fentanyl and crack and heroin, and it's I've been to a lot of inner cities, and the whole inner city is just a
I
killer.
got it.
Yeah, play that one. That one for Noah. She gonna have to explain this. I heard you, Kurt. I don't care nothing about them people, man.
I don't know why not. You came from them people,
Nah, I came from my mother and my grandmother.
but I mean, you came from the struggle.
Yeah,
The
I don't
same,
give a fuck about that struggle, man, and coming from the struggle and all that shit. I don't care about that shit, nigga.
but you did when you were in it.
Only black people do that, man. Fuck the struggle, man. We just last episode we was talking about that. Do black people make uh what we say poverty look cool? Man, fuck the struggle, man. The struggle ain't do nothing for me, man. The struggle ain't help me. The hood ain't help me. Nah, man, fuck that shit. That shit
You
ain't
realize that ain't what you wanted to be in.
No, I don't care about that shit, man. I don't care about the struggle. I don't care about the hood. I don't care about none of that shit, man. I wish all black people, was able to experience something other than the projects and poverty and the hood and low income housing and Section 8.
Let's say Hamas was like eradicated. What
We'll probably
what
be in a
do you
different
think should
situation as a
happen
whole.
between both the communities in order to bring, I guess, peace between both of them and make things better?
Yeah, so just so everyone's clear, the reason why Gaza's under Hamas control is that there was a peace deal that was signed. Israel got out of Gaza in the pursuit of peace.
I didn't know
Israel
that,
gave
Noah.
up the Sinai in pursuit of peace. Israel gave up portions of the West Bank in pursuit of peace. Israel has actually decreased the land size of their nation significantly in the last 40 years. Like almost, they have shrunk their country by nearly 75% since 1975. Most people, they don't teach you this in college. You can look it up. And in the pursuit of peace. And yet we've had more conflict, more strife. Number one, for the people in Gaza, Egypt has to step up. But they don't want them because they know that it's not exactly easy. Jordan has to step up. They don't want them either.
Jordan.
So Arab partners don't want these
Why
people.
y'all don't want them, no?
And so they have to be forced to take them and assimilate them. And they're not going to. So it's not an easy solution.
Let's say Hamas was like eradicated.
You could kill
what
that. Noah got
do you
some
think
explaining
should
to do.
happen between both?
Noah got some fucking explaining to do, man. Explain that, Noah.
Okay. First of all of this is bullshit. That's
Propaganda.
It's a complete mischaracterization of history. Like they just change what happened. And one, if you want to say Israel lost 75% of its territory since the 70s, Israel gained 100% of the territory in the 40s. So you're talking about a matter of 40 years of a country invading another country, taking it, and then allegedly giving 75% back, which not only is entirely fiction and has never happened in any war. Countries don't exchange 75% of their countries in 60 years. It's just a stupid argument. What happened was when they were the peace deal that they're talking about was after horrific wars where some of our highest body counts happened and we lost entire cities and everybody got kicked out their country. After those wars, the UN started facilitating terms of treaties where Gaza and the West Bank were meant to be, Israeli military was meant to be removed from there and they were supposed to be governed by Palestinians. And Israel never followed through with the end of the treaty. They never actually withdrew their tanks. They breached these UN peace treaties. They breached them several times. To this day, there's never been a day in Gaza since it got occupied that there hasn't been Israeli police and Israeli forces present. They never left it. So to say that we were allowed to govern ourselves, and also the whole narrative about Hamas, about the way Hamas came to lead Gaza, it was entirely pushed by Zionists from the start. Netanyahu. The only reason that happened and Hamas became responsible is that Netanyahu, the previous PLO, was having really good connections with the UN. They had he would frequently be in Europe. He was accepted to go. That was basically the only time that Europe began to recognize Palestine. And then Israel felt threatened by that, so they started pushing this Hamas thing so that we would lose credibility in the international stage. And that's how it got pushed. They didn't have any money. Hamas was a few people that there's no way they would have ever gotten enough money to rule Gaza if they weren't being funded by Israel. What else did he say? Everything was wrong.
That's
I think they really returned 75% of the territory, and then what happened to it now? Like if you see the map, the story just doesn't.
Oh, the peace treaty,
align with the map.
because Israel was looking for peace. They gave up the Gaza Strip for peace, and
They gave up something that never belonged to them.
Oh, and let y'all let the Palestinians govern themselves, and Hamas took over.
They still controlled everything, though. Even when Hamas took over, allegedly, all they took over was what they call the internal governance of Gaza, which is bullshit when you don't control your seaports, you don't control your airspace, you don't control the police, you don't control the military, you have no military, you're considered just a terrorist group. How is a terrorist group supposed, it's designated as a terrorist group, right? How is it supposed to be the government of a country? Like, you're acting like they were given any real power. They were just a name to put on top and to say that this country is governed by a bunch of Muslim lunatics. That's all it is. They never had any
Who you
power.
talking about? Hamas?
How can Hamas have power if it can't control its borders? Isn't that what a government is meant to do? Control the borders of a territory? If Israel's at the borders, and Israel's at the sea, and Israel's at the boats, and Israel's at the planes, and Israel controls every part of it, and no food can enter Gaza without Israel's permission, how are you telling me that Hamas runs Gaza and they can?
No, I guess they was just basically saying they got out the way and let Hamas govern his own people.
And I'm saying they didn't. They never got out the way. They've been in the way for 100 years straight. They've never got out the way. Got out the way means they stopped killing 100 babies per day. Like, what is got out the way? If your tanks is still there, and every time a kid throws a rock at your tank, he goes to jail for 10 years because you have jurisdiction in every part of Gaza, how did they ever get away or remove themselves in any meaningful sense? That's just what they would say to act like they're adherent to, but that's why have the most amount of breaches of international law. The fact that he says and Jordan is forced to take them, that's literally forced displacement, a war crime. Like, how can you say Jordan is forced to take anybody? Do you understand what's going on in Jordan right now? Do you understand that Jordan has a 40% Palestinian population? Do you understand that Jordan can't take any more Palestinians because they have no fucking money to do that? They have no space to do that. Jordan has one of the highest unemployment rates. Even now, what I was thinking about illiteracy, in the 1970s, literally less than half a century ago, the literacy rate in Jordan was less than 20%. Less than 20% of the country knew how to read. This is one generation before me. You're telling me that these people now can take all 3 million Palestinians after already taking 5 million Palestinians over the last 10 years and literally doubling their population, in addition to all the Syrian refugees they took, and the Iraqi refugees they took when America decided to obliterate Iraq. There's no more Jordanians in Jordan, and Jordanians in Jordan have all the guns. So at any second, this could erupt into a civil war for Jordan because Jordan is forced to take away everybody from every country that America and Israel bombs. They bomb Syria, go to Jordan. They bomb Lebanon, go to Jordan. They bomb Iraq, go to Jordan. They bomb Palestine, go to Jordan. What the fuck is Jordan gonna do? Jordan's entire economy is dependent on sucking America's dick, and that's the only reason why they get away with it anyway. We have nothing. You have no water.
So why you don't understand when Americans are saying we don't want all these illegal immigrants in America? Why you don't understand that? Why because you act like what Trump is doing so wrong is so wrong? Trump just like Jordan don't want all the Palestinians in Jordan overflooding Jordan or whatever. We don't want a bunch of people from everywhere else overflooding America.
Jordan is a developing country at full capacity.
Kurt, let her answer, Kurt.
Jordan is a developing country at full capacity that has taken, the only way that I am Jordanian is because when my grandfather came running from Palestine, Jordan gave him and his entire family passports. Has America ever done that for another country because it's a neighboring country? If Canada was at war, would America go handing out passports to people because they both speak the same language or they both practice the same religion?
America
would not have done that for Canadians.
America has given hundreds of thousands and millions of people asylum to come over here.
Yes, I know that, but in general, as a large-scale policy, America is not the easiest place to get asylum in the world.
We accepted way more. We accepted more people than anyone in this world.
But I don't believe that. If you compare the percentages, I don't believe that.
We have
not numbers, percentages.
Who has accepted more immigrants? What country has accepted more immigrants than America?
Because America is all immigrants. There's no underlying American. Who are we praising? The Native Americans that they let all these immigrants come?
The question is,
it's a nation of immigrants.
If you're coming from another country, then you're not American.
Who is not? I've never met an American from America. I personally haven't met my first American yet. Everybody came from another country at a different time on a different boat.
I don't understand. I'm born here. I'm American. I'm born here. What are you talking about?
Where were your grandparents
here?
Born? Where were their parents born?
Here.
You sure about that?
Positive.
I've
You would have
never
to
met
go.
anybody
You would
that
have to go
goes back
back.
to America more than 4
You would have to go
generations.
back 300-400 years to actually make a statement of, oh, your people came from Africa. Okay.
I'm not talking about you. Every white person I'm from is from Ireland or Italy, or every white person I met is from a different country in
Yeah,
Europe.
I'm not West Indian or none of that shit. I'm American. My family
I'm
is
just saying, don't
American.
you think in America the majority of people you meet aren't fourth generation Americans? That from third generation, like everybody I've met here is from another country in Europe or in South America or in even the Middle East. Like it's a country with a lot of immigrants because the Native American population is a very small percentage of it.
Okay, well, whether or not they're third or fourth generation American, they're American. It's totally different than someone coming over from another country.
Yes, but this is why
that's not
America
American.
allowed immigration, because America's sustenance and existence was built upon immigration. These are the people that, like, legal immigration used to be a lot easier. Like, it's not like you can just say that compare America to Jordan, where Jordan, a country,
I'm not trying to compare America to Jordan. Jordan's too small, so I wasn't even talking about Jordan.
and it doubled its population, like through refugees.
But
That
in regards to what I said is no one has taken in more immigrants than America in this whole world. That's
all right,
any
and
country.
no one has led to the creation of more people who need to become immigrants than America, by bombing countries, by funneling drugs into countries, by ruining countries around the world. How many Arab immigrants were created by the war in Iraq, the airstrikes in Syria, or the Palestine? Let's not even count Palestine.
All right,
Lebanon, Syria.
that's a rabbit hole you really don't want to go down, because
I do.
Arab is responsible for a lot of the African immigrants coming to America and coming over there also. Arabs played a large role in the Arabic African
What did they
slave
do? Who are
slave
you
trade
referring to as
also.
Arabs?
Don't act like Arabs are their hands are just all clean. You know
Who
what I'm
are you
saying?
referring to?
Everybody has played a role in some bullshit in this world. The Arabs, the Jews, the Americans, everybody.
I think you're probably referring to the
it's
Ottoman
just this
people.
era right now is on y'all. That's it. It's on y'all and Israel and Ukraine and Russia. It was at a point where America was in the fire too, with China, Japan, Vietnam, and y'all was chilling. Or before that, y'all was chilling before America was built. Y'all was chilling. The Africans was being oppressed and castrated and killed. Y'all was chilling. Everybody else was chilling then. You know what I'm saying? So it's errors. Everybody gets a turn. That's all. That's how the world works. But I'm talking about now.
I think America is having a
All I said was, why when it comes to America, y'all act like y'all can't comprehend nothing. But when it comes to everywhere else, we can't do that because this. Nah, that's the same shit Trump saying. Nah, man, we can't take these people, man. Nah, send them back. No, send them Venezuelans back. They're not legally here, send them back. If it was me, I'll send everybody back. Straight up. I'll send everybody back. Start over. Everybody has to get screened. I'm talking about family at a time. All the Chinese, all the Russians. I'm getting everybody up out of here. Straight up.
And it should start with his wife.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, that's the way we're gonna do it.
But anybody we having a conflict with, or we can't come to terms, they gotta go. Your people gotta go. Cause guess what? We don't have a bunch of Americans in China. We don't have a bunch of Americans in Russia. They got a bunch of Russians in America though. There's a bunch of Chinese people in America though. Nah, man. Nah, we at a disadvantage, bro. And it seems like, and the people that don't care are the people that can come over here and go back to where they from with no problem. With no problem.
But the Palestinians can't.
Who? The Palestinians
The
can't what?
Palestinians and the Iraqis and the Syrians and the Lebanese can't go back to anything because
Why they can't?
Because their economies were completely tanked, their infrastructure was completely tanked. They were war-torn countries, and each of them was
but they could go back.
unrecognizable when
Y'all
America-
act like they country ain't there. They could go back.
Well,
they don't have to stay. They don't have to stay here. They don't have to stay here.
Palestine, you really think every single Palestinian is going to go to Jordan?
No, I don't know what
They
they're
gotta
gonna
go somewhere. Jordan doesn't have capacity. I'm telling you, it's full. They're gonna go somewhere. If it's not America, it's Europe. You'd rather that it be Europe. I'd rather it be America because this is America's problem.
See, do you know this Palestinian war has been going on for years? I can remember when the government of the Palestinian Liberation Organization ran by Yasser Arafat. Well, the Israelis put a hit on him and they installed Hamas. Now, because they don't like what Hamas is doing, they want to destroy they want to destroy the innocent children because of it. I don't get that. You know,
what's those comments saying, Will?
Mom Duke said, why all the other Arab countries don't speak up and help out?
Because that's the thing of the category.
That's what Charlie Kirk said. What Egypt right there.
BJ, the category Arab is very misleading. Like you're acting like we ever got to a place where Arabs were a united nation. When you talk about what Arabs did, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like the 1200s, the Umayyad Khalifa, the Ottomans, the Abbasis. Like it's been a series of different empires, and each empire is very localized to either Baghdad or Damascus. Or it's not like you could say Arabs and I think of any collective Arab identity or Arab history. It doesn't exist.
Arabs colonized Africa.
You can't even say that. Like what Arabs, part of Arabs are in Africa. Moroccans are in Africa. Egypt is in Africa. It doesn't even make sense as a sentence.
Yeah,
Like,
look up the Arab African slave trade. That never happened either then, huh?
And Arab countries will never do anything for Palestine now because they did Egypt did for a bit, Jordan did, but the real powerful Arab countries have different interests. The Arab African slave trade, Trans-Saharan.
What Dawu said? I can't see that shit.
It's Obama, Biden, and Kamala got you and me, us fighting over homosexuality or sodomy, feminizing our little boys and murdering our babies through abortion. This is simply Satan against God.
I mean, I just know everybody got their hands dirty. Everybody got their hands dirty at one point in time. The Arabs are not completely clean. Neither.
Yeah, and like I'm reading about the trade. It's the Saharan slave trade, and it's like most African rulers and merchants at the time participated in the trade, selling captives to Arab traders. The other slaves were captured through wars, which has been happening in Muslim countries from the beginning of Islam. Every war ended up in people taking normal slaves and sex slaves as well. And a lot of the times these were also Arabs. Like it's a time of history where you can't compare it to America being a colonial empire that's randomly bombing and blowing up places in the Middle East to how every empire in the past 700-800 years did that. During wars, every religious war involved the taking of slaves and sex slaves, and a lot of the time they weren't just perpetrated. When you say African, they're saying a lot of them were Africans from North Africa, which are what Arabs call dark-skinned Moroccans. So that's what I'm saying by Arab is a misleading term. Like a lot of these crimes were against Arabs as well, because Arabs in Africa are not African; they're still Arabs. So yeah, and it was what did they say? Female. Some of African slaves became soldiers, including the Sudanese regiments. Sudan especially was.
I think one of the reasons why the Muslims don't stand up, or as they were saying, why haven't the Arab stood up, is because if you stand up, especially against a country that always demonized like Muslim countries. Oh, well, you in support of Hamas and Palestinian, so now you are a terrorist organization, which gives them the right to come and give bombs to your enemy. That's just how politics goes. If they support Hamas, then they're going to come after them, just like they're going after Iran. They saying, well, Hamas is a proxy of Iran. They want to go after Iran because Iran is a Muslim country. They shouldn't have a nuclear bomb, though we got one. It's too much partisan. I keep saying that. So it's not a us versus them. It should be us versus the world. You know, because it should affect all of us, whatever the policy is. You never go after just what you want to get out of it. If you do, you're going to create a partisan. And that's what's going to break the democracy in this country. If every time we get a Democrat in office, the Republicans is always fighting against it. And every time the Republicans get in office, the Democrats are fighting against it. We fight against each other. And them other countries are sitting back saying, well, we're going to let that family feud work its way out. By the time they finish, they're going to be a weaker nation.
The forgotten slavery, the Arab Muslim slave trade, also known as the Trans-Saharan or Eastern slave trade, is recognized as the longest in history, spanning over 1,300 years. It forcibly removed millions of Africans from their homeland, subjecting them to brutal conditions while they labored in foreign lands. I was talking about that.
In the 1200s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying at the time that was something that was happening all over the world and these are if you look at the periods of time, there's two specific empires that were subsets of the entire world where the Abbasi Khalifa was horrible. It was in the Iraq. It was working with African merchants and leaders in order to facilitate the slave trade, and it happened for 1,300 years, and it still isn't accurate to describe that as Arab because it's one Khalifa in the 1200s that did that for 1,300 years. How does that compare to America doing this today?
Like, I'm not trying. Everything is not a comparison. I never
single people, but you can't say, "Oh, the Arabs did this before, so now it's their turn, and now it's America's turn to do it on them." Like, I don't think that's how it works. I think what was done back then, what were the way that people the slave trade and getting sex slaves from Moors, that was literally written in holy religious books and not even seen as something wrong. The Quran talks about that.
I wasn't comparing it. What I was saying was the Arabs are not clean. Like
yeah, they're not. Nobody is. Nobody
okay,
is. But I don't think that justifies
so that's all I was saying.
It does today, because also morality, as species evolve, morality evolves with them, and things that used to happen in 1200 are happening today.
Morality is all to the person nowadays. Morality is according to the person nowadays. Because if you're okay with homosexuality and okay with abortion, then who's to say anything is moral? Nothing's moral anymore.
You don't think the human species is supposed to be evolving towards a generally more moral place?
If you can't even, it should. But if you can't even make a sound choice to understand that homosexuality is wrong and abortion is wrong, then how can you speak on morality?
Because I'm talking about the morality of having sex slaves and the slave trade, which are objectively a lot more.
That's their choice. If they choose to have sex slaves, then that's their choice, right? Just like if someone chooses to have an abortion or chooses to be a homo, and these people choose to have sex slaves, then that's their choice, right?
Because I think it's not a choice, it's a freedom. And I think your freedom ends when you start stepping on the freedom of somebody else. So if I'm being gay, no matter who I'm fucking at night, I'm not stepping on anybody else's freedom. But if I'm getting a sex slave, I'm depriving somebody else from their freedom.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. So so what you're saying, they're kidnapping people and turning them into sex slaves?
At the end of every war, when you win, you take away half all the girls from the other, like, I don't know the words in English, from like the other tribe or whatever. You take like all their women, they become your sex slaves. That's what you do when you win a war.
That's true.
Before we were moral human beings, or a little bit more moral.
That's true. That's true.
And Muslims were doing that. They had to teach us. This is part of the public curriculum in Jordan. They teach you every single ghazwa. Ghazwa is like how they spread Islam. Like at the end of every ghazwa, you'd take their women, you'd marry them no matter how young they were. They were getting married off. They were procreating. That's how they were spreading Islam. And that was not even seen as like an incorrect thing to do.
America, the same way America is giving money to Israel, America has been giving money to Iran, Syria, the Taliban, Hamas also too. So it basically balances out. They're funding both sides of the war.
No, it does not nearly balance out. How much money they giving Hamas?
I don't know.
It does not nearly balance out. They've always given astronomically more money to Israel than to
But
others.
if you put all the Arab countries, all the Muslim countries together, if they was to get together, then Israel wouldn't have a chance.
America only gives a country money when it demolishes it. The money that was given to Iraq,
Yeah, I understand
Iraq
that.
became dirt.
But
That
if
money
you
has to
but
go
if
into
you get
building
that's
from
cool.
dirt. It
But
can't
if
go
you
to war.
getting the money and y'all come together and do something with the money, it's how can y'all? I mean, if y'all come,
Because they don't give us enough
the
money.
problem is unity.
I think the problem is they're not giving us enough money for our military budget. They're barely giving us enough money for our survival budget, and they're controlling food into certain countries with a spoon that they could take away anytime when they want to.
If you're whoever received 40 million, 20 million, 30 million, I mean, what? How much? What we talk? Why we talking about food? That's more than
Because
enough.
there's a lot of people there. Egypt is full of people. All these countries is full of people. And when we actually fought these wars, when it was Egypt with Jordan, with Syria, with Lebanon, when everybody was fighting against Israel, the Arabs still lost because they had really good intelligence. And before there was an Egyptian, like the Air Force had a really like top secret plan that they were sending like 20 airplanes out of like into Israel, and they had people coming in from all the borders of Israel. That was their biggest like war strategy in the 70s. That's failed horribly because Israel just found out about it through American intelligence, like 2 days before it was going to happen, and then they ended up stopping the whole shit. And that's how they took parts. They took parts of Egypt. They took parts of Syria. They took parts of Lebanon. The power of intelligence in wars like this, when Israel is 3 billion steps ahead of us, has the most advanced military science, has the most advanced drones, has the best intelligence in the world. Like, it's no amount of money can compensate for that. And we've tried and we've lost horribly and lost a lot of land from 4 different countries. Nobody's going to try that again. That's what they talk about. We gave back the land that they took when these 5 countries invaded them in support of Palestine, and then they took land from every country. That's the 75% of its territory. Because for them, it's not Israel. For them, it's greater Israel, which encompasses parts of Lebanon, parts of Syria, parts of Egypt. Just a colonial empire, a baby America in the making.
Obama gave them a lot of money. Obama gave, and Biden gave Iran and them a lot of money.
I don't know what they were
Obama
getting.
gave y'all 8 years of money.
What they was getting in return. America doesn't give free money.
No, that's true.
America only gives
check
free
this
money to
out.
Israel.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a
Because
fact.
they
But
bought
they
it.
was getting the money though. No, I don't know what they was doing with it, but they was getting it. I don't know what they was doing with it, but they was getting it. That's bad money management. Bad
They've been
leadership.
in Iran since the Iran-Contra scandal, though.
Bad leadership.
Lady, Mr. Roman, are you aware that we are sending $40 million a week to the Taliban?
40 million a week.
Yes, sir. Can you name other instances of foreign aid going to terrorist organizations?
We have assisted al-Shabaab in Somalia. There's been instances of the Hamzi network in Sudan, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, Kataib al-Hezbollah, Hayat Tahrir al-Shams in Syria. Dozens of terror organizations have received indirect assistance from U.S. foreign aid. These lobbyists have come to the House and have tried to kill legislation like H.R. 160, which was meant to increase transparency in USAID's funding of overseas organizations.
Is that a current piece of legislation?
That's from the last session.
And give me that number again.
H.R. 160.
And what does it do?
It was meant to give U.S. lawmakers the ability to have higher transparency in terror financing investigations aimed at scrutinizing extremist groups.
Mr. Premier.
We had a regulation before we left in the last administration that anybody who touches money in countries where there's terrorists, those names have to go through databases, terrorist databases. That was overturned by Biden.
Search it for 5.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I know. I ain't gonna say nothing, man. I ain't gonna say nothing.
TikTok?
Huh?
Wasn't that TikTok? Where did that article come from?
Ain't no telling. It could have been TikTok.
Don't you know they control the algorithms? They pump what they want to you. That's not real. That's AI. That shit is not real.
Yeah, you too woke. You need to go back to sleep.
BJ, I was researching the money that Obama gave to Iran and this is
How much?
actually really insightful.
How much was
1.7 billion in cash
How
because
much?
1.7 billion with a B. Because this was a settlement for a decades-old dispute over a 400 million payment that Iran made in the 70s to the US for military equipment under the Shah. After the 1979 revolution, the US froze the funds and never delivered the gear. Iran filed a claim at The Hague, and by 2015, with interest, the US faced a potential $10 billion liability. The Obama administration negotiated it down to 1.7 billion, 400 million principal plus 1.3 billion in interest, paid from the U.S. Judgment Fund, which is taxpayer money for legal settlements. So they basically robbed Iran.
They did. America grimy, man.
America does not give charity. America
They
does not
took
give nobody
forward.
money. America pays debt,
Yeah.
and they
They
give
owe
them.
China trillions for the longest, and beefing with China, taxing them.
Bullshit.
You're taxing them.
But
Yeah,
the
America,
narrative,
40
but their
million a week is
narrative,
crazy though, no. 40 million a week, that shit should be built beautiful over there.
40 million a week for what?
Who they gave 40 million a week to? The Taliban.
Taliban.
The Taliban should have a damn army. They should have some nuclear weapons. 40 million a week. Damn. That's 160 million a month.
Let me fact check that.
yeah. Kurt talk about his AI. Man, what are you
Driven by
talking about?
Republican lawmakers like Rep. Marjorie
all,
Taylor
it sounds just like when they said that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, and they were convincing and convincing the people that Iraq had a weapon of mass destruction. They didn't have not one bomb.
Kurt, everybody knew they was lying. Everybody knew they was lying, Kurt. That shit was about 9/11. 9/11 tricked the people into thinking we was at war with Bin Laden and them, ISIS or whatever, Taliban or whatever. You know what I mean? But everybody knew. Niggas on the block knew that. I was 19 and 20 knew that them niggas ain't had no nuclear weapons, bro. We knew they was lying.
What I'm saying, so this narrative about America giving Iran $20 million a week or whatever, the Taliban and all of that, they was giving them people the money that they took from them during the Shah of Iran.
Okay, that could be true, but whatever. They damn sure ain't take 40 million a week from them.
They took more than that.
Nah, they ain't had that, Kurt.
When the Shah of Iran left Iran, that's when the embassy in Tehran was taken, and they captured them 300 something Marines, and they had them hostage over there in Tehran. They was requesting that America give them the money back that the Shah came to America and got, and all of a sudden the Shah come up missing or dead, and they don't know where the money is. They just made an agreement to repay that money back.
You can't get in bed with the devil, man. You can't get in bed with the devil.
Right, because he'll change the narrative and make it seem like he giving you something. Trump is running, this whole Republican Party is running, that country's been getting over on us for the longest, when it's really America is the one whose hands is dirty. They be in everybody's business.
Yeah, but right now, America economy is the one that's failing right now. The economy, and we're going backwards. We don't have jobs and none of that. So right now, we focused on building America again. Whatever, everybody hands is dirty. Everybody, every country. The politicians are stealing, not doing for the people, keeping the money. Everybody doing the same thing, man. All over the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Republicans, far right wing, libertarian, all of them is a different
Because
wing.
you got trillionaire Arab Muslim families and shit. They see what's going on over there in on the Gaza Strip and shit. They not doing nothing about it. They not even saying nothing. They got ties to Trump. They could sit down and have a conversation with him like Zelensky did and like Putin did. and have him stop that, get Netanyahu off them people necks. You know what I mean?
I just see all of the children that's dying because of something the government decided to do. It's not right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that's saying it's right. It's definitely wrong.
You look at all the news media, these children are buried up under brick, worse than 9/11. And ain't nobody coming to those kids' rescue. I get it.
That ain't nothing new though, Kurt.
It ain't nothing new. They did it to the babies in Philadelphia.
Yep. Alabama too. They bombed the church, and them little black girls in there.
Right.
Bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma. It ain't nothing new. That's why I was explaining the North. Yo, this shit been going on. It just be errors of who turn it is. That's all. Who they focused on right now. Word up. Them Jews is something different, though. I'm telling you. Hitler had the right idea, man. Hitler wasn't wrong all the way wrong. Hitler was wrong how he went about it, but Hitler wasn't all the way wrong, man. And them Jews done infiltrated the American government. That's why it don't matter who the president is. It don't matter. Israel will be backed. They got too much power and influence in the government of America. They're in the government, inside. They killed the president. They manipulated that whole joint and got JFK killed. Yeah. And matter of fact, Hoover, the FBI dude, that was Hoover, right? Edgar Hoover, right? Hoover sent the message to Kennedy. Hoover sent the message to Kennedy and told Kennedy, man, just let him know what he want to do. Hoover was ready to run them niggas up out of here. Hoover was ready to run them up out of America. Said they had too much control, too much. They was getting out of hand. I forgot the name of them, but the people that started AIPAC, the people that started AIPAC and was funding AIPAC and all that, Kennedy was demolishing that shit. All the influence that the Jews have now in America, Kennedy was demolishing that shit. And they had like 14 days or something to tell them, to give them all their documents of who they was funding in America and all that, and AIPAC, them Jews wouldn't do it. Hoover got tired of waiting and told Kennedy, man, listen, man, they need to go. Hoover was gonna lock them up. He wanted to start locking them up and deporting them and shit. And Kennedy kept trying to get him chance after chance after chance. And next thing you know, he got his head blown off within days.
I got one on you, BJ.
Within days of that shit. What's up?
Trump administration got a Kennedy in his administration.
He's a good dude. I like Bobby.
Man, he disputed that measles vaccine, and them kids is dying in Texas.
I'm against all vaccines, Kurt. And 2 kids died in Texas because they have the measles.
And it's spreading rapid.
I didn't see that, man. I didn't see that.
We got what?
Okay, it's spreading rapidly. Okay, but yeah, I'm against all vaccines. I don't vaccinate my kids. I don't immunize my kids. I don't vaccinate them. None of that shit. I don't vaccinate myself. I'm not with vaccines.
Have you been vaccinated?
No, I just said I'm not. No.
As a child, they didn't vaccinate you to get in school.
Oh, when I was a kid, they probably did because my mother didn't know any better. That you talking about that? You talking about the 80s when we ain't have these phones and stuff. You talking about, you know what I mean? 82, 83, 84. And the vaccines was different back then.
Huh?
Them joints, that was different stuff we was getting back then. This stuff is different.
The measles vaccine is the same as it was then.
You don't know what it is, Kurt. You don't know what it is, man. You don't know what it is.
But it ain't.
Huh?
And you don't know what it's not.
I'm saying it was better back in the days. What you don't know what they put in there. I don't trust these people. These new people. I don't trust them at all. I ain't trust them back then neither. I'm not saying to trust them back then, but it's a fact that the food was different. The food was not shot up with all these chemicals and stuff they shooting it up with. The same. You think do you really think if they're shooting the food up with chemicals and stuff, you think they're not putting bullshit in the vaccines?
Well, it's always been human sacrifice when it comes to science. Just like the Tuskegee Institute thing, they were shooting
Okay,
black
so if you know that, what are you talking about? Why are you champion? Why are you so behind
champion.
vaccines?
Well, because I took vaccines in my life, and so I've always followed the science in it.
Yeah, so you're following. You're just following. You're following blindly too. You're just following.
I followed the science, the research with it.
You don't know what's going on. You just shooting some shit in you're listening to them and shooting some shit in your body. That's what you're doing.
So now, do you think that medication for HIV patients, they shouldn't take them? That's just like the vaccine.
If they have so if an HIV patient they're contracted HIV, they're gonna have to take something. They've contracted HIV. But if my child just living, I'm not putting a vaccine in them that already has the bullshit just to put in them so they could carry it. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But if someone already has HIV, then of course they got to take the medicine for it because they have it. Yeah. But why would I choose to put something in my body and I'm not sick? That don't even make no sense. See what I'm saying?
It prevents you from getting sick.
That's what they tell you. Just think about it. I'm not sick. I'm gonna put the disease in my body to keep me from getting sick. That's the same thing they told you about them COVID vaccines too. And now they come back and say, "Oh, the vaccines was wrong. Like you didn't need the vaccines. It was a test run and this, that, and the third." They done killed all them people, millions of people with them vaccines. All types of people is messed up behind them vaccines. I'm not. Come on, bro. No, I'm a student of history. I would never.
I just really haven't seen enough proof of that. Like there's certain things where I'm more of a student of science, and there's certain things where I'm more of a student of history. This particular thing, I feel like the science is pretty reliable on it. There's no way every scientist has read the studies and has seen it's been going on for such a long time. There's really like public health is not a pseudoscience. Like, if you're talking about nutrition or sugar being bad or what they put in our food like that, like, yeah, nutrition is a pseudoscience. It's very hard to establish what thing that somebody ate is going to cause their death 60 years. How do you establish causation? But with the vaccines, that science is a lot more straightforward. And yeah, there's like, every medicine has a risk, and I just don't see any absurd amount of risk. I don't see people everywhere dying. Everybody I knew in Jordan had vaccines. Rabies is still a thing there. Like, everybody had to get vaccines. If none of these viruses were previously eradicated, if polio was still around, if all the measles was actually in the middle of an outbreak, I don't think you would have the privilege to say that, oh, I don't want to take the vaccine. Like, maybe COVID wasn't enough of a scare. I agree. COVID wasn't affecting young people. Young people shouldn't have been forced to get vaccinated.
How was it not enough of a scare and millions of people died?
It was old people that was dying. Healthy young people did not need it.
Young people died too.
Healthy young people did not die nearly. It was not more than 5% of healthy young people.
I don't know the statistics, but people died. And it was young people dying too. I'm not talking about teenagers and stuff, but it was people my age died around that time. I know people that were 35 years old that died.
It was a serious illness. It was a serious illness. It caused lung problems. I got COVID 4 times. I know it. I was in the hospital for one of them. It was a serious thing, and I got all my vaccines too. It was a serious illness. I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying I don't think that merited every young person being forced to vaccinate when I compare it to other virus outbreaks like Ebola and when it first started, like malaria, like polio. Like, these diseases, there's a need for vaccines for sure in many contexts, just because COVID might not have been, and it was rushed too much because there was so much frenzy about COVID. But generally, the concept of a vaccine, I don't see why it's so hard to believe. Like, the science seems pretty legitimate.
You don't see why it's too hard to believe what?
That vaccines that ingesting a weakened version of the virus into a human body causes you to develop an immunity for it, which is critical for
No, I
diseases.
didn't. I didn't say it was hard to believe that. I just said I wouldn't do. I'm not doing that. Why? I just said why would I do that?
But there's no reason for you to, because sometimes the risks outweigh sometimes the risks outweigh whatever you're scared of. Like it just
Well, I
depends
guess if you took the vaccine, you would think like that. See, I didn't. I'm not taking. I didn't take the vaccine, and I will never take a vaccine. So I don't even think like that.
Well, if rabies was like crazy in America now, and there was dogs biting people, and the people turn insane and start killing people and dying, like rabies is a crazy disease that has 100% mortality rate. Everybody that gets rabies dies. If that started going around again, you wouldn't get the rabies vaccine because you're still going to be worried about whatever you think they're feeding you.
I will buy more bullets.
Channels to feed you anyway. If they want to give you something, they want to put it through your account.
No, I will
I
buy
don't
more
think they need a
bullets.
vaccine.
I will buy more bullets. No,
They don't need the vaccine
I will
to.
buy more bullets, man. No, like everything. Once again, you know, we ain't take none of that stuff, and we've been all right. My mom's in their 60s and caught COVID and multiple times, and didn't take no vaccines, and they of age. Went through the natural remedies. She's up here. You know what I mean? Vegetables, boiling hot water, and steam. Straight up.
There's exceptions, but the life expectancy
It's just what you believe in. If you believe in the vaccines is good for you and it helps you, by all means, take them. But I'm listening to what Dr. Fauci, I'm listening to what the people that's telling y'all need to wear the mask and take these vaccines, that the people that was saying this, I'm listening to what they're saying now. Y'all must miss what they're saying now. They got a total different tune right now. That's what I'm listening to. But I already knew that. That's why I never took the That's why me and my people never took the vaccines. We don't trust them. There's no reason for my people to be trusting them at all after they gave syphilis to the Tuskegee students, the Tuskegee airmen. No, it was the students or whatever, right?
Yeah, it was, well, it wasn't.
Airmen, right. After they gave them syphilis, and guess what they told them was, no? A vaccine. Injected all of them with syphilis. They gave the Native Americans, what they gave them with the blankets? Smallpox. Gave them smallpox. So just like you don't trust them, it's amazing that on one hand you don't trust them. You know America's some bullshit when it come to the money and the wars and all this shit. This the same America you talking about. I know they some bullshit. I ain't fucking with them. I ain't messing with their vaccines, their immunizations. I'm not messing with none of that.
I get that argument. I just feel like generally, even if you can't trust America for a bunch of things, the one thing that I can trust is that in the 1900s, the life expectancy in America was like 45, and in Jordan it was like 25, 30. So and that's from the 1900s until like that's a century and a bit.
What they was dying from?
Everything. Like they was dying from everything. Like you can't deny that there's a lot of things that have been invented.
Name one thing. I don't know what everything is, Nora. What was
I don't
they
know. I
dying
can't tell you. I need to Google that. I don't have that information at the top of my head.
How the hell you don't know what they were dying from in your country?
You talk about Jordan?
Yes.
BJ, Jordan wasn't even a thing in 1900. It was part of the Ottoman Empire.
No, you say in Jordan the life
Yeah, it was.
Say that, Will. Expectancy rate was 25 or something.
Yeah, because that was at a time it was in the Ottoman Empire. Jordan.
So what were they dying from then? Well, I just want to know
the Ottoman Empire. It was a huge empire. There was like starvation. There was. I'm sure there was a disease back then. I just can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I just want to know what disease they was dying from.
1900. Yeah, that was before the French.
What they had back then?
I think.
They probably had the same shit.
They had really bad pneumonia and tuberculosis, and almost everyone would kill somebody.
Tuberculosis, that's
and
a fact.
Smallpox and measles.
Bronchitis and all that shit. Tuberculosis, yeah.
Smallpox and measles because Jordan started vaccinating in the 1940s.
Well, the measles. Y'all had a measles outbreak in New York not too long ago, a year or two ago.
They told me I need to get vaccinated.
You didn't know?
Well, polio. They
was up there.
the
How you missed
polio
that? That was
vaccine.
crazy. That was
Yeah, I know. And I did a blood test, and they said my measles antibodies are too low for my age or some shit. They said I had to get a booster, even though I got it when I was like 3 or some shit.
They want to keep shooting you with them boosters.
I don't know. I'm actually thinking about it. There's measles around. I don't want to fucking get measles.
It was out there in Williamsburg. It was the Jews, because the Jews don't get no vaccines at all. They don't get nothing. So it was somebody that came back from wherever they came back from that was infected with it. They infected the plane. They tracked it down to that one person somehow. But shit,
Damn, they had malaria in
we
Jordan.
can wrap this up. Well, what's that comment right there?
Most of the doctors themselves did not take the
They
vaccine.
did not take the vaccine. They shut that lady up too, Dawood. Remember that doctor when I remember when COVID first was hitting early, when everybody was confused. That black lady, she might have been African or something, or West Indian. The doctor that came out on the news and said, and you don't need this, and don't what she said, man, don't do this. She was saying the truth. They shut her up quick.
I gotta admit that the whole COVID thing was Big Pharma's way of pushing that medicine. You know, because in order to produce it, they had to, get money. They had to,
They
get
all
money.
got rich. Dr.
They got rich.
Fauci, all of them. Fauci, all of his whole team, Biden and them, they all got rich. And tried they attacked the people. They tried to attack the people that wasn't with it. They tried to attack Elon and them. They tried to attack Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, Robert Kennedy. They started attacking them. Even Trump was against it. Trump was trying to tell people it's not that serious, but he didn't really know what was going on. So what he was saying was sounding crazy.
Yeah, like drink bleach.
Yeah, well, it was crazy. Trump. I just.
But they pushed that whole narrative before Biden was in office, because COVID hit before Biden was in office. That whole narrative, Dr. Fauci came on with Donald Trump, and because he didn't go the way that Donald Trump wanted to go, that's when they kind of blacklisted him.
Yeah, well, they got Trump up out of there. Okay, it came around December of 2019, 2020. Biden here, they got Trump up out of here. They say he was stupid and talking crazy and drink the bleach and all that stuff. Yeah, they ran him up out of there. He didn't take no vaccine. I bet you that. I'm willing to bet that he ain't take no vaccine. I bet Elon ain't take no vaccine. But look it up. Just go look at what Dr. Fauci and them is saying now. I'm gonna have some clips for us next time, before and after clips of Fauci and all of them, all of them. Even what's his face changed his name? Was that Cuomo? No, not Cuomo. What them guys? I'm gonna have some before and afters for y'all, because y'all obviously I remember all of that because I was outside every day. I was in my truck every day. I worked all through all of that. Me and Eli had COVID in the truck. I had to take Eli home. I had to take him to the crib. I'm gonna leave him in the crib because he's sick. I was giving Eli Alka-Seltzer Plus and everything. Word up. No vaccines though. And I kept telling him, man, don't spit it out. Spit it out. I was giving Eli everything he wasn't supposed to have. Alka-Seltzer Plus. What's the thing? The nasal stuff, the mucus stuff. Man, drinking tea with lemon, Mucinex. Yeah, Mucinex. Cause Eli was only like, 14 now? Yeah, so Eli was like 9, 10. I'm doping his ass up. The Alka-Seltzer Plus, Mucinex, man, tea and lemon. To the point I was like, man, I gotta get him out the streets, man. I left him in the crib. I went back in the truck. Word up. But no vaccines.
COVID wasn't even my worst sickness. Like I got even when I was in the hospital because of the lung problems, it wasn't half as bad as hand, foot, and mouth, which nobody even talks about. You know that disease that babies get? It's
What's
like
the
three. It's
What's
called
the name of it?
hand, foot, and mouth
Oh
disease.
yeah.
I had that for like I got that from Omar's kid. um, yeah, and they both his daughters had
How the hell? Hold on, man.
me. I just wake up one day and I have the chicken
I got
pox.
that from Omar's kid.
No, that shit was horrible. My mom was visiting for 2 weeks and I had to quarantine for a month. My mom came from Jordan to America and I didn't get to see her more than one day because I got it the second day. And it was so infectious and I was getting like chicken pox like all over me and like my hands were on fire. Like I'd have to just keep my
That's I had that shit, but I ain't get it from no kid. I got it from picking up my dog's poop with no gloves and shit on.
the fuck?
I was using like paper towels and stuff.
That's crazy. That
Or the doggy pad, picking up, when they poop on it or they piss on it.
yeah.
And I pick it up. Well, my screen just we about to get off. And I just pick it up with my hand, fold it up, and put it in the trash can. I got that same shit. I got that same stuff, man.
Was it bad?
It was bad. My tongue swole up. I had it like all.
Yeah, me too.
I felt like everything I touched. Like I was touching my throat because my throat was hurting. Then my throat started getting bumps and swelling up. I touched my face. My face broke out. I touched my arms.
Me too.
My
I couldn't
arms
walk
broke
for
out.
2 weeks.
My hands was burning. It hurt when I washed my hands.
Horrific.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. I ran to Kaiser. They gave me a shot. What you end up having to take?
They gave me a shit ton of medicine, but they didn't
They
give
gave me
me
a shot. I told them shoot me.
They didn't give me any shot. They
I
was
was
actually
scared. I didn't know what I
doing.
thought I had HIV. I didn't know where this shit came from. Word up. They
gave me
came
like
back.
lidocaine and like prescriptions for things to make my body cool. They gave me like patches to cool my body down. Like I was on fire at all times for 3 weeks.
Damn. Yeah, you should have took you should have took a penicillin shot or something.
For real.
But that's a vaccine.
That's what I told. Well, I took that. I ain't gonna lie. I took
Exactly.
that.
When you need it, you're gonna trust it. It
Right
just
in the
depends
side
on
of my
the
butt.
analysis.
Hurt too.
Man, what? That long ass needle? Man. Yeah, I took
That motherfucker hurt.
Man, I took that. Please. And it cleared up. It cleared up like in a day or two. Like in a day or
That's
two.
crazy.
I ain't know. I did not. I had no idea. And they just kept asking me, like, what you been doing? What you been eating? Da, 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 da. I thought I had strep throat. But then my hands and my arms started break like red blisters. It was like chicken pox, but it was red and it hurt.
First thing they asked me at the hospital.
That's what they asked me. They asked me if I had any pets. And I was like, yeah, I got a dog. And it was like,
They asked me about kids. They asked me if I was around any sick kids. And then I immediately asked Omar. Omar goes, oh, yeah, I just found out they have hand, foot, and mouth. The second I told them, and the doctor had already said it might test for strep and it might be hand, foot, and mouth.
that's why I thought it was strep too. But how you get it from the kid, though? It's contagious like that?
Yeah, it's very contagious. They told me I can't see my mother at all. Like I asked them, especially for elderly people, if they get it, it can be like
Yeah,
really
that'd messed her up.
Yeah, and it usually spreads in daycares. It's a common thing in certain daycares. There's a
Oh
great
yeah, they can't get everything though. That's why them kids stay sick.
yeah.
They can't get everything.
But kids don't get it that bad. When you're an infant, the symptoms aren't nearly as bad as when you're an adult. If you get it as an adult, it really like hurts a lot more than when you're an infant. And for an infant, it's almost a regular flu.
My daughter used to get pneumonia like twice a year. For like 3 years straight. She stayed with pneumonia. That shit was stressful.
It's crazy that disease used to kill people. My brother had it for a year too when he was like 12. Can you imagine how many people used to die of that? I know so many people that have it now, and it's just like.
Yeah, Armani used to get sick like that too. You know, his colds used to be so bad that we had to take out his adenoid and his tonsils cause that shit is swole up inside.
Yeah,
you know.
I
So-
just hated hearing. I hated hearing her cough. She would cough, and I could hear the water in her lungs. When she
You be
coughed,
trying to-
I heard the water in her lungs.
You used to try to cough more. Hey, BJ, you try to call for him, you be like,
Man. And then
you know.
that fever get up to 103, 104, 105. I used to be sitting there just wiping her with cold rags, wiping her, keep wiping her, putting cold
Yep,
rags all on her.
anything over 103.
And then she had asthma. But it's mucus, like Dr. Sebi said. It ain't nothing but mucus. It ain't nothing but mucus. She had mucus the size of like a lemon or something in her lung. And as soon as they did the surgery to scrape her lungs, that shit gone. She ain't had pneumonia since. It's mucus, bro. I'm talking to the doctor like, yo, that's really. He showed me the X-ray. I'm like, damn, that's really just a ball of mucus. He's like, yep. Yep.
BJ, the doctors in Jordan told my mother that my brother had a banana peel stuck in his lungs, that he had accidentally swallowed a peel that was stuck when they looked at the x-ray because it just looked black, like they had a shitty machine or something, and it just looked like completely black. And they told him that he had swallowed something and that they were going to do surgery. He wasn't even 12, he was 11. They were doing surgery in his stomach and they were going to first put a camera through his lung to see everything. And then they put it and then they confirmed that it was the banana peel. So they do the other surgery. And it takes 8 months off of school. And at the end, they found out it was pneumonia. It was just mucus.
That's retarded. That's crazy.
Yeah. He was like blue after the surgery from his coughing. It was crazy.
Dr. Sebi said that shit, and he cured everything. That's why they, you know what I mean? They killed him. Yeah, they locked him up back in the days. He was curing AIDS.
Well, they did that to protect Big Pharma.
You know what I mean? And that's another reason why I ain't fucking. I just know everything is mucus. That COVID shit and all that is just it was a bad cold. It was damn near like the flu. A lot of shit that was killing people too was when they was going to the hospital and they was putting the machines on them. The machines was killing people too. Them breathing machines. Them breathing machines was killing people too. But yeah, tea, lemon, ginger tea, and lemon. Them lemons in hot water. You could drink lemon in hot water. I was doing that in jail just now when I had COVID. Remember, Will? I was like, yo, I had COVID in there. Yeah, I caught it immediately. I couldn't even sleep, bro. I couldn't sleep. I'm up through the night coughing, dying under the covers, sweating. I'm drinking hot water out the sink. I just keep drinking hot water. Drinking hot water and eating them chili soups. Them chili soups were spicy. Word up. I had to drink for 3 days, man. Hot water and kept pissing. Got that shit right up out of me, man. 3 days.
Hey, BJ, my family had the opposite. We took the vaccine and the booster, but me, Nana, or Money never caught COVID. Never caught it. Yeah. But I was extreme.
See, and that's another thing. Y'all stayed away from it. That's what I was trying to do too. Like, you know what I mean? Yo, we ain't fucking with that shit. We just stay away. Everybody do the procedures. Wear the mask. You go outside. Wear your glove. Put your mask on. Stay away from people. Whatever you had to do. You know what I mean?
So my job was an essential job, so they made us work throughout COVID. You know, we had to work here because we was making it. There was electric generator motor for the nuclear submarine.
The crazy thing was, it really was just New York and New Jersey tripping because Florida was open, Georgia was open, and Texas was open, wide open. We was wide open. Walmart, all that shit, we was open. The South was wide open, yo. But I remember that Florida was wide open because we actually went to Disney or Botanical Gardens or something out there. Texas was wide open. That's when I really started fucking with the Republicans. I ain't gonna lie. That's when I really started messing with the Republicans. Around COVID. That was right after Trump said, yo, if you're a truck driver, don't worry, I got y'all. And the rates went up. And then COVID hit. And all the Republican governors was like, man, we ain't closing. We ain't closing. Word up. But we out, y'all. I'm gonna have some clips for y'all though. Before and after clips for y'all. Dr. Fauci and them talking crazy. Talking crazy, hypocritical, and kicking themselves in the ass.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us tonight, and we'll see y'all next time.
Appreciate it, all. Later, Kurt.
Good night. Later.
So.